Chill Town at? Where's the brother at? My
looks
brother.
like he might be ducking. You looking for him for good reasons or bad reasons?
Whap. I just want to hear him talk about the best small forward in the league. What up, Ox? New background. Look at my boy coming up in the world. New background. Look at that lighting.
That don't really look like a come up to me, Swiper.
Nah, he all right.
It's just a pen and wall. I just got off the freeway. I got off the freeway like 4 hours ago.
Your girl put you in the basement?
No, I'm at a hotel. I'm at the Holiday Inn, bro.
I told you leave that girl. Told you leave that girl alone.
Yeah, what's wrong with the Holiday Inn?
Are you traveling?
Yeah. I'm in California. I had to come do some work. I've been renovating my mom's backyard for a little bit.
Really?
So I had to come down here.
Oh, are you doing it yourself?
Yeah, me, her husband, and my little brother.
Are you good at like kind of outdoor stuff like that?
Yeah, bro. I'm from California, bro.
No, I'm from Colorado. I'm great with snow, ice, all that stuff. I can get rid of everything. I can do all that stuff. I'm excavated when it comes to ice. I can get rid of everything. Chill.
Nah, there was a couple summers there. Me and Ron was out here putting up fences. You know what I'm saying? Shit, yeah, but
you can put a fence in too.
Swabby trying to tell you, Swipey, you better stay away from me.
I got so my mom she got like this side like it's like a ledge, like she got a pretty big backyard, and so it was just full of just stuff. So I'm taking all that, I'm putting in like her rose garden over there. We're working on the deck for the they got a little above ground pool. We about to put the deck in for that. So got a couple things I had to come down and wrap up before I get surgery. So.
Bro, I don't tell everybody my personal business. Chill know everything because we best friends. But bro, my mom had a catering business growing up. I've been hauling dishes, cleaning, cooking, serving people my whole life. Like you want to talk about something? I couldn't stand doing it though when I was a kid.
Yeah,
couldn't stand it because people don't be saying thank you. Yeah, I mean it definitely taught me service for sure. But like people in the food industry are rude. Like I'm like 14 years old. Like. Busting tables and like cleaning up after people and whatnot, and so that's why I'll sleep on.
But that's the craziest thing, though. How you gonna be rude to somebody that's serving and making your food?
That is any maintenance workers, janitors, people that are doing the street, like paving your road, people that are picking up after you. I don't know. They literally make society work.
That's
especially British people. They're the worst with that.
They treat you like the help. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
never show out the final boss. You wasn't gonna send me the.
See, this is what I mean. Do you see how we having a productive conversation?
If I provide a service, you should.
That's how you working around.
No, but you know what? But you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
That's how you work.
This is my last thing. This is my last thing.
That's how you working around.
Chill. I was saying like this is my last thing. I think one of the things that Ticket's learning, what Ticket's really good at, but Ticket knows this. In his heart of heart, he's a good person. We know he's a good person. He does this. This is no. Hold on. I'm not trolling.
I don't just. Hey, hold on. You might want to ask Ron.
Yeah. Ticket's a good person. So I think some of this,
what you see right here is what you get in real life, baby.
Some of this.
You better ask somebody that knows.
My philosophy.
Somebody that knows me, right, Ron?
A couple people.
Anyway.
What do they say? Do I make this shit up?
Listen. So chill. Ignore the troll. So some of this is my philosophy is everything in life is a form of service. No matter if you play in the NBA, no matter if you're a business owner, everything you do is a service to other people. So you should always walk with honor and grace with how you treat other people. So that shit everywhere. So that's why no matter what you do, no matter how rich or poor you might be, everything you do is for other folks. So anyway, I'm here for Chill because
real quick, before you move on. I'm sorry, Chill. My bad, Swap. I just want to close that point with saying y'all gotta treat people better that are serving. Like if you go to I've been real shit like a while back, before I was in a serious relationship. A while back, I was on a date with a young lady, and I left. I got up and left. Like I'm not finna eat with you.
What
I'm
happened?
not eating with you because she was being rude, bro, to the staff and shit. Bro, I'm not finna eat with you, bro. Like hell no, I'm not eating with you. I'm not finna be here. I'm not paying for none of this. I didn't even, so I just I'm out of here. Like I'm not doing this. I would not be seeing you.
Did you get your food to go? Or you said damn the food too.
I ain't want nothing to do with it, right?
I won't do it with rude people like that.
A lot of honeys on your channel, bro. I just, what I'm saying, I didn't know you was locked down.
A lot of honeys on your channel.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, on that money gonna get in there. This ain't the time and place for that.
Yo, right quick, Swiper. But before you go, Swiper, I realize I've been rude as a host, and I haven't done my job to the fullest. And I want to apologize to the people, and I want to apologize to y'all up here. Because on Wednesday, I asked Will a question, and I didn't ask y'all a question. Here we is, two weeks into the playoffs, and I haven't asked you guys yet. Is there anything that you guys need to get off your chest? Any nasty takes? Any grudges you may have with anybody up here? Is there anything that you guys are feeling that's trapped inside that you have to get out? Mars, I'm gonna start with you. Is there anything?
Oh no, I got off my rebounding stuff. I had to get off yesterday. It was very eventful. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it very much.
And we'll get to that, because if you didn't see that open gym segment, it was funny, and she'll watch the game last night too. Ox, do you have anything? Any crazy takes, nasty takes, or anything that you just need to set the record straight?
See, Ron, that's the problem, bro. You be saying that's how you got Will talking that dumb shit the other day. Ain't nobody up here trying to take no wild, hot, crazy, viral takes, man. We just up here to talk basketball.
It could be a good thing. It could be like, yo, I didn't know PJ Washington was that good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, shout out to Tim Hardaway for saving Luka Doncic.
Hey, the Tim Hardaway Jr. game, man. It was about time. I had faith in the THJ game.
I told y'all just let Tim work. Y'all talking about get Tim Hardaway off the floor, man. Let Tim work, man. Let him work.
He can get you one. He capable of getting you one. We'll see how many.
Hey, somebody got to say Luka. Last series it was Kyrie. This series, Tim Hardaway, PJ Washington.
See, that's all we wanted to hear, is that Luka needs to be saved. Thank you, Ox. Chill, do you got anything?
Mars is still a scumbag.
He mad at me because I'm right, but I mean, I guess.
I love that dude, though. This my man, but he's a scumbag, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Swipe.
That's fire.
Aside from what you have in store for Chill, do you have anything?
Yeah, man. I was wrong on Evan Mobley, man. Everybody calls him a high-level role player, but he's averaging Mars 21, 10, and 5 this playoffs. 21, 10, and 5. He's been really good. Now his shooting is bad. 54% from 54% true shooting. Okay. 54% true shooting for Evan Mobley, which is crazy because that's elite role player numbers. So I'm shout out to my dog. My bad. Actually, no, my fault. Wrong screen. That's Jayson Tatum. My bad. Jayson Tatum's averaging 21, 10, and 5 and 54 true shooting. My fault. I got the wrong player.
I realized.
But yeah. So I'm saying, that's high level role player money's top small forward in the league. That's my dog. Shout out to you, bro.
Ticket. Balletto.
Yeah, First of all, let me start off with Mars. I seen you running your mouth in the comment section yesterday. Once again, this is what you do, Mars, right? So I got a problem. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you directly out. See what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just run around, hide behind circles. I seen you. Oh, you guys like all the arguing and the views go up. Yeah, the views go up because I'm the man.
How's that talking shit? If I'm acknowledging the views are higher, how's that talking shit?
I see everything you do, boy.
Yeah, but how's that talking? If I acknowledge the views are higher, how's that me speaking negative?
Mars, I see everything you do, boy. Hey, look, Mars, you a sneaky little. I see everything you do. And Swipe, let me tell you something, brother. You can go ahead and ask Ron. I don't think you know. This ain't no facade, bro. Everybody that watches this channel that knows me, whether they played in the NBA, whether they didn't, or whatever, they know. Anybody that's known me, bro, they know this is how I am in real life. This ain't no I need you to understand something. This ain't no gimmick. I know you probably think, yo, Ticket does this with gimmick. No, I really mean what I say.
I think you OVO through and through. You from the 6'9", my dog. That's my dude.
I stand on what I say and I stand on what I mean. Just because the people in the audience don't like what I say, or I'm just gonna give you one quick example. You wake up today, maybe you want to wear blue drawers, but then you go out the house and say, nah, I'm gonna put on the red drawers today. That's your prerogative. That's how you feel. So, listen, for me personally, I have a right. Hold on.
Do y'all really wear drawers based on color or comfort? I go by comfort.
Wow, I have a right to check.
He's saying you got to match it with your outfit.
The same as Bob. Bob took a chick out.
Your socks and drawers got to be.
Bob might have thought she was beautiful when he took her out, but when he took her out and seen her attitude, that changed his whole mindset. So he said, you know what? Hey, I gotta pivot. So when you say, hey man, well, you feel this way about Jalen Brunson this way. No, I like Jalen Brunson. But I say one thing, and I saw something different, and so I pivoted, but not from him, but from what I thought the result was going to be. Let me give you an example. Last night, the Cavs game. I didn't think the Cavs was going to win that game, but now that the Cavs have won that game, I'm curious to see if they can win another game.
Ticket, you just a master manipulator, Ticket.
No,
I know
Brian, did you just drop a poll asking people what color drawers they got on?
Yeah, he did.
Change your mind, for example.
Some people say
how many nuns are there?
Nuns leading. Hey, shout out to everybody free ball.
Hey, Ron, hold on, Ron. Ticket, keep going. Ticket, keep going. Ticket.
Got the Cavs last night. How would you have felt about this series right now, Swiper?
What happened if the Celtics had what?
If the Celtics would have just blown out the Cavs last night, you would.
I said Celtics in 6. I said Celtics in 6. It's going 6.
Yeah, no, I'm saying right, but I'm saying if they would have won last night, you still thought it would have won 6?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay.
I know who I'm watching. I know who I'm watching. Just like Ticket, I know who you are. When I talk to you, I know I'm getting propaganda. I'm getting contradiction. And when you get caught in the corner like yesterday, you're gonna change your point, like the Kobe trade point. You said Kobe never requested a trade, and then I pulled up the quote, and then it happened. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. No, I heard. No. Chill. This is your problem. And here comes Captain Save a Chill. Here comes Captain Save a Chill.
No,
I never said that.
No, I know what you said. I saw it. You were talking about that 04 window, and then you just mitigated. You talking about just that 04 season. I saw it.
Hold on. But that's why I said he was going to Chicago. The year he asked for a trade, he said on the radio, "I don't care. I'd rather be on Pluto." That's what he said.
This is you. You Chris Paul. This is you. You snaking through the lane. You always snaking through the pick and roll. I get it. I know.
Anybody that know me in real life, no, that's not me. They know I'm this. You understand what I'm saying? If I say something,
how is this not real life?
I'm going to say, well, this is real life, and I've been between the lines in real life. So you
between the lines.
You
worked in the zoo?
No, I didn't work at the zoo. I worked on a basketball court for 16 years and got checks.
On a basketball court.
Yeah, and got checks for it.
What do you mean got checks? Oh yeah, I mean you.
I got paid. I got paid.
Yeah, there's 3 people up here that's been paid for basketball. Yeah, for sure.
Did they do it 16 years?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea.
Not even close.
But I'm saying, bro, what's that?
Who's the 3 people you're alluding to?
Actually, Ticket. Oh, what do you mean? There's 3. Anyway, look. Hold on. Ticket. Real question. Do you think? Because there's a lot of controversy about this because of the voting stuff with the media and the white boy media, all that kind of. There's all these kind of things about it. Do you, Ticket, feel that players should have more input on like awards and media stuff and all that, given that players have the background experience, even though you hear like Gilbert Arenas and all that kind of stuff. So you do think so?
I troll, bro. Y'all think I troll when I say this, and I'm gonna let you go, Marsh. Y'all think I troll when I say this, bro? LeBron James, KD, and all these dudes, let them dudes be coaches. I'm serious when I say that. I'm not just joking. If you're gonna get all these dudes fired, because remember, Dale was in here jockstrap sniffing yesterday for KD. Remember I was criticizing KD yesterday in here, y'all? And look what happened. As soon as we get off the show, this man don't got the coach fired. And what did Kendrick Perkins come out and say? The man ignored the coach for the last 3 months. We didn't even talk to him. He made it so the organization picked between him and the coach. So once again, you have torpedoed a coach. You have torpedoed an organization. You have put an organization on the hook. How many times this dude got to be traded? So y'all can say it's propaganda, but it's facts. This is factual information. So for me, I would rather see more player input. If you're going to let the players, this is my thing, right? If we're going to go away from the era I grew up in and Chilltown grew up in, where the organization.
So you admit that y'all in the same age bracket because you called him old yesterday.
Who?
You called Chill old. You admit y'all in the same age bracket.
Hold on, because Chill he went through the 90s. He went through the early 2000s. He like really went through that. So what I'm saying is that Chill knows the coaches had more control in those eras. The coaches in the front office. For example, when Michael Jordan wanted his buddies from North Carolina, they told him, no, you're going to have this. See what I'm saying? Now it's different. So my thing is this. Don't masquerade it. Let the players, let the inmates completely run the asylum. That way, you don't have coaches getting fired.
I don't like that reference. Huh? That's that Bob and Air reference. I don't like that reference.
Fellas, Mars got a question.
Go ahead, Mars.
Let's see this last thing. So let's look at your situation with Denver, right? Denver, it has a good organization. Why? They didn't make a stupid decision like Mike Malone said and fired him after he had a couple little tricky seasons with Jokic and Murray. They stuck with him. He said that. But you see these other organizations firing coaches who won championships, firing coaches going to the NBA Western Conference Finals, firing coaches who have resumes after 1 year. This dude got a 5-year contract. He get fired after 1 year. So, and then the players are hiding behind this. And it's just like Shaq and these other guys said. The players ain't taking accountability.
Did you see that offense Ticket?
Huh?
Did you see the non-existent offense that Frank Vogel was running?
But Bob, you have to put. Hold on. But this is my point to Swiper and everybody else on here. When he said about the players' input, hold on. He said about the players' input. I believe what Swiper said all the way across the board. I believe the players should vote on the MVP. I believe. Hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this. Because they're actually the ones on the court playing against.
But they also the same people that voted Cam Reddish going to have a better career than Zion Williamson coming to the league.
No. I'm saying, but when you're but I'm saying when you're in the league, though. I'm saying when you're in the league, I believe all the players on each team should get a ballot to be able to vote for who they feel, a secret ballot to vote for who they feel should be MVP and submit that. I believe that if the players want to get the coaches and stuff fired, I believe we should have player coaches. So if KD want to get all these coaches fired, if LeBron don't want to get all these coaches fired, I believe they should be the coaches and the players. That way, you can't blame nobody but yourself. That way, when there's an MVP, and we know how the media pushes narratives on who they want to be the MVP regardless, guess what? Now it's coming from your peers. So can't nobody run from that because you'll know that's of your peers. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like the people who are out there doing the work should have more of the say. It's just like the United States of America, baby. The people that's in the country doing the work every single day in these jobs should have more say than the people that ain't doing nothing that sit up there benefiting from your hard work.
So, Ticket, real quick, and Mars, I want you to, because I know you had your hand up for a second, Mars. So then with that logic, that means that 5 of Jabbar's 6 league MVPs are validated because they were voted on by the players.
5 for whose?
5 of his 6 league MVPs that he has were validated because they were voted by the players.
Jabbar, yeah.
Yes.
I listen. I
make the playoffs?
Believe that. Bro, I truly believe they say this is the player empowerment era. I believe that because y'all ain't giving the coaches no more power. Hold on, the general manager don't have no power. For example, Swiper, tell the truth. If Jokic walks in the office tomorrow and says, "Yo, I want KCP traded," he's gone. He's gone. If Jokic can walk to the front office tomorrow and say, "I want him to," but there's only like one organization that you can't do that with this now, and that's Miami. You seen what Pat Riley did? He told Jimmy Butler, "If you ain't playing, shut up."
What's Tatum going to tell Brad Stevens?
He gonna tell him a lot. You know why? Because they got to pay him $300 million.
I ain't listening. Never mind.
No, I'm just saying. But that's how it's going in this era, bro. That's why I said I believe give all the power to the players if y'all gonna do it like that because your coach is irrelevant. The coach don't have no voice. You got LeBron snatching the clipboard from the coach. KD ignoring the coach. Won't talk to him for 3 months. What type of time is this, bro? What type of environment are we creating as the NBA?
Mars, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ron if I could put something on the screen. I just wanted to. Am I allowed to do that, host Ron? Am I allowed to?
Hey, Mars, you the host today.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
What the script says. Hey, Mars, I see you got it last night.
The reason I'm doing this is because Chill said Ticket did not say that.
He did.
They were like, Kobe asked for a trade. He ain't asked for a trade for real. He just did it so the Lakers would trade for Pau Gasol.
Yeah, hold on, come on.
Exactly.
Kobe didn't ask for a trade. He was a free agent. He wanted to go to the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, I was talking about that year, 2004. He didn't ask for a trade.
Here come Chill.
You try to take what I said out of context.
Here come Chill.
Listen to what I said. I said Kobe did not ask for a trade. That
he didn't want to go to the Chicago Bulls. That's not true. In 04, it wasn't the Bulls. That's not true.
It was the Clippers, actually.
Hold on, but
he said the Bulls, and guess what? Kobe requested a trade to in 07.
He was a free agent.
Yeah, Chill. Stop trying to say him.
Let's not lie about what he said. He said Kobe didn't request a trade.
I don't know why you do that. I have no idea. You're a better man than that, Chill.
I was talking about the same year that
whether or not you were talking about, you said
the Bulls.
Bro, you guys
the Bulls were specifically a trade request. Everybody remembers it, except for you.
Okay.
You said it.
Now that part. Now hold on.
Oh, look at you, jab for jab. I lost. I lost another debate. Chill. No, look, I lost another debate. Jab. Pew. You take an L. Just take an L. Just take an L graciously. Just take an L graciously. Goodness gracious. That don't hurt me. But guess what? Between me and you, I'm a real man. I ain't got to worry about taking no jab. You see me in the street, you better run.
I don't have to take
you see me in the street, you better run. Run
from you. I don't look down at dudes like you. You can look up feet moving.
All right, fellas, let's get into it because
unless he's 6'10 or 6'11. Shit.
What does that mean? 6'10 or 6'11. Canelo knocking out people bigger than him all the time. Mayweather knocking out people bigger than him all the time. What's up? What's up? I know I'm bigger than you in the ways that matter. I know I'm bigger than you in the ways that matter. What's up? What's up? What's up? I can see. You know what? Ox got big ankles. Ron's shirt draped over him like a drape. And then look at you. My built like chill. He built like old McCamby from Minnesota back in the day.
Hey, salute to you though, Swiper. I got love for you, dog. Salute to you, brother.
Just to let y'all know, everybody up here, the next PC weekend there will be a boxing ring there, and we'll have a you know we'll have a ref there and all of that good stuff. We'll have the headgear if you want that. We'll have the gloves for everybody's size. So if you do want to step in the ring, it will be there. But as for today, we'll get to that when PC weekend comes around. I guess we'll go ahead and start with the Celtics and the Cavs. Chill. I'll give you a chance to speak first if you want. Otherwise,
yes, sir. So
it goes to Swiper.
Well, so we'll start the conversation with when the Lakers played the Celtics. Remember when both James and AD didn't play, and the Lakers went in there and kicked the Celtics' ass. And I was adamant about the fact that you dudes aren't good enough to just show up. That's kind of what happened last night. I feel like they got outworked in every aspect of the game. They got outworked on the glass. They got outworked on defense. They got outworked in transition. The fact that they didn't shoot the basketball, that doesn't bother me, because if you're a long ball shooting team, you're going to have nights like that where you shoot 8 for 25 or something like that, because that's the meat and potatoes of your basically of your offense. You shoot the long ball like that. But when you don't do the other things, when you don't rebound, when you don't play defense, when you get outworked in the interior, which is what happened last night, when you don't take advantage of mismatches, when you play drop coverage on Darius Garland and you don't adjust to him knocking down the mid-range or the long ball, when you don't do these sort of things, you're not good enough to just show up. And it's going to be what it was last night. And when I'm watching Donovan Mitchell go after both Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and you guys don't take the challenge on, that suggests to me, again, that you guys weren't prepared last night, that you could just show up. This team they're good, but they're not really good enough. It's almost like you played down to the competition, not accepting the fact that you don't have 5, 6, 7 games to play around with a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the fact that you guys didn't do that, it was evident. Now, I don't think Cleveland's winning another game in this series, but that's not the point. The point is that yesterday, when I watched this Boston Celtic team, I saw Jayson Tatum foul baiting. I saw him not finishing at the rim. I saw him soft around the rim. I saw him settling for jump shots. I saw him turning down one-on-one opportunities against Max Strus when he could have just taken him to the rim at any point, and he did not do that. A lot of this stuff that Jayson Tatum is doing, he's done it throughout the season, and it's worked for him. When you get to the playoffs and you start playing against the better teams, it's not going to work. Jaylen Brown is another one who I also saw turning the basketball over, being careless with the basketball. You guys were not rebounding. You did not get on the glass, and you were not physical in the paint. You know who I did see who was physical in the paint? Evan Mobley. I saw Evan Mobley basically take the fight to Al Horford. Early on, he didn't seem like he was, because he went down the lane, and I watched him, instead of laying the basketball up, he ended up kicking it out to Isaac Okoro, and I think Coach got on him about that, and the next thing you know, now he's just finishing around the basket. Evan Mobley was one of the big differences in that game yesterday, and the Celtics have to get it together. They have to get it together, not just for this round right here, but moving forward. They have to get it together.
A guy like Jayson Tatum has to pick on Evan Mobley. He's letting him off the hook when he's creating space, and like you said, just not shooting that open midi. When you get space on a guy like Evan Mobley, he's gonna recover. So you big on big men being up with their ability to recover.
Right.
Evan Mobley has that. So when you get that space, you have to have the skill set to be able to pop it from 7, 9, 11, 17, 19, 20, 25. You know what I'm saying? You got to be comfortable everywhere on the floor. Jayson Tatum is a guy whose skill set I thought was comfortable all over. So when you get some space on the guy that's big and long like Evan Mobley, you got to be able to shoot that 11 foot. You don't have the luxury to be able to take another dribble and then get to the paint where you're now shooting contested layups, contested floaters. I need Jayson Tatum to be who he's supposed to be, I guess, is what I'm.
Who y'all say he is?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I need you. If Jayson Tatum is this, I need him to pick on Max Strus. I need him to pick on Evan Mobley. And once again, I'm standing on no KP, No KP. It's even Stevens. Like I don't know who's gonna win this series without Kristaps Porzingis. He's the difference maker to me. He's been the difference maker to me.
I still think that the Celtics will win this series off the strength that I've seen Jaylen Brown, I've seen Jayson Tatum, I've seen Drew Holiday, I've seen these guys as a collective unit. Derek White, I've seen these guys basically dominate games. So to see Cleveland do what they did for 3 straight games, I'd be very surprised about that. But what I didn't like how stagnant the offense was. You got 5 guys. This is not, even though Boston is a long ball shooting team, it still bothers me to watch Jayson Tatum standing in the deep corner. It still bothers me to watch just him standing around and watching, or when he gets the ball at the top, not be aggressive. Or not just that. He did do the other things yesterday. He did get on the glass. Not only did he get on the glass, he also played defense. He did do those things. But with him doing those things, the other things, scoring the basketball, being more aggressive around the rim, finishing around the rim. Yo, you 6'10". I see you run down the gut and throw it on somebody. I'm one of those people who, when I see you do something, I expect that you can do it more often. I don't expect Jayson Tatum to be dunking on everybody, but I expect to see him doing that more than what I see him doing it. And I didn't see that last night. And that's going to be the difference in whether they win or lose. Finishing around the basket more, stop foul baiting, being more aggressive. Now, do I have to accept the fact that he's not built like the rest of those guys? No, I'm not accepting that. And the reason why is because I've seen him actually put those games together where he's been big in the playoffs. I just need to see him do it more consistently. He hasn't. He has not.
Chilltown, did y'all hit Mars with the man test yet?
What's
Mars,
the man test?
You gonna know you a man if you can do this. If you can drink out your bottle of orange juice like this, that's when you know you the man of the house.
That
boy.
just sounds like you single to me.
That's when you can talk to me. No, I ain't say. The last thing to find a boss is single, baby. You can ask Ron about that. That's the last.
Ron about your dating life.
Hey, Swiper. Hey, Swiper. Yeah, you come rock with me, dog.
Well, you can. I'm saying you could have honeys around you and be single. No, I don't know what the difference is.
If you come rock with me, boy, I'm telling you right now, dog. I'm telling you right now. You'll say, you know what, Ticket Man? You are the final boss. Hey,
but you live in the DR, yeah, bro. If you making $30,000 a year over here, you're making $300 down there.
I got a house in the state. I got a house in DR. I also got a house in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? I got a house in Cartagena, Colombia, baby.
How much that cost you collectively? $20,000.
Oh, are you crazy? you must not have seen my house. See, you can talk it. Chilltown know it. Hey, you talking?
How much did you spend collectively on those homes?
How much did I
make? Yo, Swiper.
How much did you make? Let's show your account.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me the Balenciaga bag. Y'all, look, this is tell y'all. I live in Atlanta. If I want to scam this man, I'm telling you, chill. He makes it the easiest possible. I don't know nothing about everybody's bank account over here. That man over there, that man right there, bro, every day telling on himself, man. I'm telling y'all right now, bro, that's how you get in trouble. You're going to get a knock just like this. Somebody going to show up in a suit with a badge on.
I don't think the Cavs win another game in the series, though. Back to what I was saying, Ron. I don't think the Cavs win another game in the series, but I do stand on what I said before. Donovan Mitchell's the best shooting guard in the game. I said that early in the year. I still stand on that. I love his aggressiveness. He gets to his spots. He doesn't finish around the rim like he did last year. And I don't know, maybe that knee injury isn't what maybe that knee injury is worse than what I think it is. Because Donovan Mitchell plays above the rim. I've seen him throw it over the top of guys. I have yet to see him do that, not just in his postseason, but he hasn't done that since that knee injury. So, but he's still playing at that level, where he still gets to spots, still knocks down the long ball, still gets to the mid-range, still finishing around the rim. And Evan Mobley, you guys know how I feel about him. I just think that he's going to be the class of the defensive bigs. And I think he can be a 20. I think at his peak, I think he could be a 25 and 12 guy.
Hey, chill. Donovan Mitchell looked just about as unstoppable as it gets last night.
He looked great. That step through he does, man.
For somebody as small as he is, Swiper, the amount of space that he creates when he steps through like that.
He got 7-foot arms.
Yeah, man. Like for the amount of space, for as small as he is, Donovan Mitchell's what, 6'1", 6'2", and
6'1". Yep.
For him to step through, it looks like a 6'8" or 6'9" guy. That's what it looks like. So I'm not going to overreact to one game because, again, I don't think that the Cavs are winning another game in this year. I'd be surprised if this thing went 6 or 7. But last night was definitely a wake-up call for the Celtics. You guys can't shoot that bad and think, not only shoot that bad, you guys can't shoot that bad and not do the other things and think that you're still going to win, because you're not.
Mars, talk to me about what you've seen in this game.
The Cavs played better than the Celtics. Boston was switching a lot. That made it easier to get to the rim. The Cavs were pretty comfortable in the paint. Like, they were switching with everyone not named Al Horford and Luke Cornett. And like, Al Horford would switch occasionally, which was weird to me. But like, for the most part, they would switch with everyone not named them. In game one, they weren't switching with, I want to say, Derek White or Drew Holiday was one of them. I can't remember which one right now. One of them wasn't switching. They were staying attached to Donovan Mitchell. I want to say Derek White. But in this game, they were switching everything, and then they ended up giving up a bunch of easy ones at the rim, whether that's on drives or giving it down to Evan Mobley. Interesting decision. And then the Cavs, they started conceding the Darius Garland switch or the Donovan Mitchell switch. Game one, they were trying to avoid it, and it was opening up shots for Derek White and Al Horford and them. In this game, they started conceding it, giving like basically allowing the ISOs in the middle of the floor from Jayson Tatum. And they kind of just lived with the results of that. And then Boston couldn't make threes. They couldn't keep up. Boston are probably going to win the series, but it's an interesting little game plan that you can make them play more in isolation. And Jayson Tatum's scoring hasn't been great in this postseason. And when the three isn't dropping, they look beatable. But yeah, the rebounding was a problem. I'm not going to harp too much on it. The rebounding in general was a problem. I think that's in large part due to the switching. I think you're switching more, your rebounding is going to be compromised. But yeah, I don't think it's need to overreact in this series. I don't think this is proof that the Cavs can win the series, but they can make it a competition. They can compete. And if they extend this series, I mean, all credit to them and credit to them for winning the game. I don't want it to just be, oh, this is what Boston didn't do or Boston aren't good or whatever. Like, the Cavs came out, they did their job. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. He played very well. Darius Garland was cooking against drop coverage with Al Horford and Luke Cornett. Yes. That was a big deal. Him being able to make those pull-up jumpers. Karis LeVert gave them some good minutes. Evan Mobley, of course.
Mars, that third quarter came around and they just pulled out the belt for
they could have missed a three in the third.
Yeah.
The third quarter, they couldn't miss a three. Because I think the first half they were switching, and then the second half they went to like the drop with the bigs, and then Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell just got on a heater. Like they couldn't miss a three. Right.
But Mars, you know why they went to the drop though, right?
Because they were living at the rim. When they were switching.
Yeah, that too. But keep in mind who was the big man that was in the game at that time.
Mobley,
Luke Cornett.
Oh, Luke. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Luke Cornett. Yeah, he has to play drop. Like he has to.
Without Porzingis, they're gonna have to deal with that for all 7 games because apparently he's not coming back, right?
But I think he's done for the playoffs. To be honest with you,
yeah, that's a dangerous thing to play with. That's the same thing with Giannis.
I think he's done for the playoffs. To be quite honest with you, but I mean, I think he's been serviceable. To be honest with you, I think Luke Cornett has been serviceable. He's been good around the rim. He's been good at protecting the rim. He's been good at, thwarting other drives. He's actually been good at rebounding. For the limited time that he's played, I think he's been good. The problem yesterday was the Celtics couldn't make a shot. I feel like their long ball, when they knock down the long ball, that accentuates all the other aspects of their game. They play defense more. It's like that energizes them. They play defense more. They rebound more. They play faster. You see them, the ball starts to hop even more because it goes from one guy to the other. If Derek White's knocking down a shot, then Jaylen Brown is knocking down a shot. If Jaylen Brown is knocking down a shot, then Drew Holiday is knocking down a shot. And it just resonates throughout the rest of the crew. But when these guys aren't, shooting the long ball and these guys aren't knocking down shots regularly, it kind of deflates everything else that they do because they don't defend like they normally do. They don't rebound like they normally do. And that's a recipe for disaster. Because my identity can't be predicated on us making shots. It can't be, because if that's the case, we're gonna have nights like last night where we miss.
Are you talking about the Boston Celtics? Their identity can't be predicated on making shots?
This is what I'm saying though. I don't think it can be. And the reason why I don't think it can be is because when it's not going on, the other stuff isn't going on. But it's been going on.
That's who they are, though.
But that's the thing. The reason why that's who they are is because it's been going on more than it hasn't been. That's why they won 64 games last season. So when you're a team that hasn't, when you're a team that your identity is making shots, especially long balls, and you're not very good at it, and the other stuff doesn't resonate with that, that's a recipe for disaster. It's been working so far for the Boston Celtics, but last night is evidence that when they're bad in terms of shooting the long ball, I
think that's who they've been all year though. They oscillate between being this all-time great offense with this stifling defense to being a team that doesn't make anything, or if you can test a lot of their shots, you get them in rotation a lot on the other end, they have issues, or you slow the game down, and therefore the three-point bombs aren't having the same effect. Because even if they're shooting 38% from three, but the possessions are slower, and then you're scoring on the other end, that still is not going to balance itself out. If you're getting 48, 50% from twos or higher on one end, and then you're containing them to 44 three-point attempts or shooting 38% from the field in that game, and they're not getting to the free throw line, like that's just how you got to beat them. You got to just like kind of be very monotonous in your approach. I think the Cavs yesterday, that third quarter, they found something. I think Evan Mobley played really well yesterday too. Obviously Donovan Mitchell. I mean, Donovan's so funny because I think because his scoring chops are so good, he's an underrated passer. There's a kick out he had. I can't remember what it was. He drove left. He kicked it out, I think, with his left hand. Somebody remembers this play.
It was I think
it was Darius Garland, and then it went to Max Strus in the corner. And so if they're able to collapse the defense, and then they can get a solid kick out, and they got some shooters in the corner, either Dean Wade or whoever else is going to be, man, they just have options in front of them. I still think the Celtics win this in 6, so I don't think they're really going to push them for real. But I just think the Celtics have holes, and I think again the Knicks see them, and it's gonna. And again, I don't want to get too far ahead. I just think there are teams as you get higher that can take advantage of your weaknesses and put you in tougher spots. So I just think the Celtics right now, they're just collectively that much better than everybody in the Eastern Conference for the most part, where they can just kind of rely on their talent and their base scheme at such a high level. That's why they can wash people.
No, I'm not. No, I can't let you guys off the hook like that, because
you guys.
I got to tell you guys why I believe the Celtics are really, really in trouble.
In this series or in general?
In this series right now, today.
Okay.
No Porzingis. He's out, right? Jared Allen is on his way back.
Is that that, or is that just optimism that he's on his way back?
Jared Allen's on his way back.
I think it's optimism.
He's gonna.
Let's just say for the sake of argument, it's true. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Jared Allen's on his way back. Porzingis is out.
Okay.
As of right now, the the Cavaliers have the best player in the series. As of right now, regardless of how you feel, Donovan
Mitchell has been the best performer in this series.
He's playing the best, sure.
In this series and just in the playoffs in general.
Yeah.
Also, the Cavaliers stole a game from Cleveland or from Boston.
Yes, they did.
They have home court. Yep.
So now they have home court advantage technically. So I'm saying that they have the momentum. The momentum's riding on their side. Karis LeVert, he's rolling now. Evan Mobley's kind of like, all right, maybe Boston ain't as big and tough as we could have thought that they were.
Right. I'm
saying that the Celtics, they have the momentum. The Cavaliers, they have the momentum. They're feeling good. They got 2 games at home now. Donovan Mitchell's like, oh yeah, I'm rolling.
Right.
Big fella's on his way back. What are they gonna do when Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both are parked in the paint and doing what they do best?
The Cavs haven't lost a home game, right?
No, they haven't. They're undefeated at home. They're undefeated at home.
So is it crazy to think that the Cavs go up 3-1?
Yes, it is crazy.
I know it sounds crazy. Yeah. I know it.
But in the playoffs, it's not like that though. I think it's if they get up 2-1, that's an obscene amount of pressure in Cleveland to do that with a team that's like dealing with injuries on its own. So it's possible for sure. But even then, like Boston, I've seen be down 3-0, and they just started their shot variance swing so far the other way that they're able to get back into the series. So even then, I still think they can win.
Boston also play better on the road than at home in the playoffs.
They're 500 at home. They're 500 at home in the playoffs. Right. Yeah. Just so you know, 15-15. But Swiper, back to your point about talking about the Celtics, even if they're shooting 38%. Well, if they're shooting 38% or even 37%, something around that, I still feel like their defense meets that. I feel like when they aren't shooting the way that they shoot yesterday, I feel like that resonates throughout the whole crew. And I feel like that sucks the air out of everything that they're doing. Now, when they actually play where they're shooting decent or they're shooting maybe average, their defense is still there. Their aggressiveness is still there. Them getting to the rim is still there because defenses still have to honor that. Like last night, I saw a lot of open threes. Last night, I saw a lot of wide open shots that they didn't make. I saw a lot of wide open shots that they passed on, because once you see 2 or 3 not go in, what ultimately happens now is, well, maybe I can get something better, which I would think that they would do. Like, for example, Jaylen Brown on the wing. Jaylen Brown on the wing, he had a wide open 3. Instead of taking the 2-dribble pull up right to 14 feet, no, he goes into Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley smacks it right back in his face. Now, that's discouraging for the offense. Now, when you talk about Ron talking about Jared Allen coming back, well, again, Ron, for the sake of argument, if Jared Allen comes back, now that's another big body that they have in the paint, one of their better rebounders, one of their better rim protectors, and a scorer that they absolutely can have, who hasn't played in a while, but they still don't. They still are beat up. No D Wade, right? D Wade has been out of the lineup. But I feel like the Celtics, they're not going to shoot the basketball the way that they shot yesterday for the rest of the series. I don't think they're going to do that.
I agree with that, Chill. But do you now? All in all, I understand the Celtics are a better 3-point shooting team, but I'm going just with the shooters from the Cavs: Max Strus, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert. You don't think they can shoot it out with the Celtics?
I think the Celtics. I think the Cavs have the same issue where they can't just show up. And if their shots, I mean, we seen what happened when they don't shoot the basketball. We saw what happened against Orlando when they were bad. Even though it doesn't resonate as much with their defense, but they haven't run across a crew like the Celtics with the talent that they have. They haven't ran across the crew like the Celtics with the offense that they have. So
in the comments.
Say it again.
For real?
Yes. So they haven't run across a crew like that. So I don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're good enough to shoot that bad. I don't think their defense is good enough to withstand that. I don't.
Chill. How is you talking in the comments and on here at the same time? Chill,
hey, man. I am a man of many talents.
You ain't got to worry. I heard the man talking trash about me when I had to leave to go to the door. Chill. You don't got to worry about no trolls in the comments. All you do is just pull up your numbers, dog. See, that's a real professional basketball.
Why are you showing your contract?
Oh, be quiet when I'm talking, because I didn't say nothing when you talk. I left and let you run your mouth.
My man's.
I'm just gonna tell you this, dog. You see what my contract said right there? Compensation base per month, that's $25,000 per month, sir. Now, I'm gonna show you something, right? This is what a real It's big dog, little dog. This is what a real professional basketball contract look like, sir. So again, sir, and I got about 10 more of them I can show you, sir.
Again, who are you referencing?
If you've never signed one of those, if you've never signed one of these right here, you understand what I'm saying? And you see it in the light of.
But who is he referencing? Are you referencing me?
It's referencing the final boss, baby. Hey, and I'm gonna say it again. See,
Did I say there are 3 basketball players up here?
If you never, hold on. If you never have signed a pro contract like it, bro. Know your role.
Like a basketball pro contract or any pro contract?
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Can you specify?
Hey, and I can go
specify?
on and sweeter than Ben and Jerry's.
But I'm saying, are you specifying a basketball contract in particular?
Bro, how you think I made my money all my life? I played pro ball for 16 years.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were specifying. I got you.
That's just one season, dog. So when you talk big dog, little dog talk, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not worried about you, dog. I'm still getting money from 2008, boy. The hell wrong with you?
So they cut you, and then you're getting like a prorated portion of your contract every year?
I didn't get that. I got this my contract right there.
Oh, okay.
All right, y'all. This is a good time to tell everybody to like the video.
Hey, Ron. That's hate in real life. That's right there. That's a hater in real life.
I haven't even said anything. Didn't I say he played basketball?
No, you said something before I left.
Y'all in the comments said something.
Ron, have you ever been overseas, Ron?
What you mean? Have I been overseas?
Yeah, you've been. Oh, that's right, Ron. You've been. Okay, so Ron, you can explain to this jabroni.
Look, keep it on me.
No, hold on, Ron. He probably needs to get his passport up, because check this out, Ron. This is one thing he don't know, right? When you come overseas, there's something that you call inflation, which means that everything costs double. So this
everywhere. Hold on. Which country are you talking about?
Hold on. I'm saying, hold on. So every country has
parts. That's not true across the.
Let me explain this to you. Every country has parts where it's the slums where poor people live, and then every country has parts where it is the upper class where the rich people live. But what you need to understand is this: everything over here is damn near triple the price because of inflation. A computer, a television, all of these things cost double and triple the money. And you don't have to believe me. Ask Ron, ask Shaq. So
I don't know what country we're
because I've been around the world and your ass is still local. And you really don't know nothing. Just know your role and shut your mouth. Now back to Chilltown about your Boston Celtics. Let's get back to basketball. Chilltown, I'm not really convinced that the Cleveland Cavs can take the series. I'm not sure if I don't like what I'm seeing from the point guard for the Cavs. I don't like what I'm seeing from him. He's not playing at the level I saw him play at last year. I think his level has dropped this year, and I don't think that Spidey on his own and then trying to find because are they going to get production off the bench like that every game? If you're going to tell me that Karis LeVert's going to come in and give you 21 off the bench every night, then we talking. But if Darius Garland is not going to step his game up and really play at the level that he's supposed to be playing at, which is fringe all-star level, I don't think I agree with you, Chill. I think that Boston probably wins this series in 6 games. Yeah, because like I said before, I got to see it before I believe it with them. Because like I said, Darius Garland's level has been down this year. I don't know if you noticed that, but I don't like how he's been playing. Even in the Orlando series, I know everybody says, hey, well, they're all about Spidey, but somebody else got to do something. Like last night, Evan Mobley came out and took the reins. But can they consistently do that 3 more games in this series is the question. I don't know.
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't. I think you're asking a lot from Evan Mobley. I think you're asking a lot. Y'all already know how I feel about Evan Mobley. But, yeah, I'd be surprised.
Did you hear Tatum's soundbite at the end of the press conference, the one that kind of went on Twitter a little bit?
I didn't. What did he say?
I mean, it's obviously a snippet, but he basically said that's the narrative you see, like on expectations.
Oh, I did hear that when he said that.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Expect us to win every game. Well, it sounds like a cop-out. That's what it sounds like to me, that everybody expects us to win every game. Well, when you win 64 games and you have a home record the way that you have, and the fact that you've been blowing everybody out at home, when you play at home, we do expect you to play better. 100% we expect you to play better. You in particular. And I understand that Jayson Tatum does all the other things too. I don't want to discount that. He does a lot of the other things to help his team be better. 100% he does that. But he gets himself in such trouble because it looks like he overthinks. I always reference Neo in The Matrix, where he looks like he's trying to score the basketball instead of just scoring the basketball. He's doing a lot of extracurricular stuff instead of just going. And I find him, when he does this, getting himself in a lot of trouble. And again, we're talking about the Celtics, who had the best record in the league. Yes, we do expect you to be better at home. We don't expect you to play down to the competition. We don't expect you to have the night like this that you had. We expect all the other stuff, even if you are shooting the basketball bad, we expect all the other stuff to still be there and you to be competitive. We don't expect you to get blown out on your home floor against an inferior Cavs team. We don't expect that. Absolutely not.
What do you think?
I don't really think this Cavs team's that much inferior, though. I'm telling you that losing Kristaps Porzingis is crucial.
Very crucial.
And the Cavs have the best player in the series, like it or not.
I think the margins are smaller in the playoffs, period, though, just because all those teams are all very good. There's just things that separate them at a decimal level, and then you have to be able to execute on those margins more consistently than others, and which is why people reference the Nuggets-Lakers series. The Nuggets games are always close, but then it's just on the decibel. And I think even with some of the Celtic stuff, they overwhelm you with talent. They face a team that's more disciplined, more skilled on a game-by-game basis, and you see these great influxes where they just look like a different team. I think even at the top of the individual players list, like, you got your Steph Currys and your LeBrons and your Durants, but even them, the league is talented. Other players are very talented, but can you dominate on the margins and win those things, the winning plays and stuff? And I think the Celtics, I think Tatum in particular, Chill, which is why I've talked to you about this before, I think he's still learning how to be that. So when you put him in the best small forward in the world conversation, I just don't think there are things he knows how to do yet at the same level as Bron or even KD. Even like if you want to look at the first round, KD didn't play, good enough to win, obviously, but 28 points a game, I think 6 and 3 or whatever on like really good efficiency.
Are we talking about a guy who's in year 16 as opposed to a guy in year 7?
No, but you don't get that pass though. But by the time
it's not a pass, it's not. That's not.
But by the time you're in your 7th year though, you're like who you are. You're who you are.
I think it's year 5 actually. To be honest with you,
what do you mean it's year 5?
I think by year 5, what you see, this is probably who this guy is.
I mean, I mean, if you're 18, like think about it, if you're 20 and you came in the league, Jordan, 27 years old, he was already stamped best player in the world. You know, Shaq was like at his physical apex, was like a different dude. Kobe, by the time he was 27, was solidified as one of the best in the world. I think you do get to that point. But I think if this is year 7 for Tatum, I think there are just signs at this point that there are just some things that he might not be able to get in terms of the peak that everybody thought he might reach, which is fine. Like he's still one of the best players in the world. But I just think in moments like this, in games like this, and in this run so far, right. We're just in a situation now where I think we're just seeing some deficits in this game overall. But
sure, we'll see. I disagree with what you said about the peak in 5 years. No, because we didn't see the best of LeBron in 5 years. We saw the best of LeBron like in year 8, 9, 10, 11 when he finally developed a shot. So he did change his game. A lot of guys like now, they're taking longer to reach their actual, like they're getting better as they get older as all around players. Right. So I disagree with what you said. Their athleticism goes away, right. Except for maybe LeBron. He has lost some athleticism, but as far as their games growing, you see a lot of guys' games getting more mature as they get like for an example, Harden isn't the same athlete that he was. Mars talked about how the injury ruined his career, but he's a way better playmaker in my opinion than he was those years in Houston. Like right now, he's a way better point guard than he was. Back then, he was more of just a scorer, you know what I'm saying? Right. And you know what I'm saying? Now it's like his game has improved, but he just don't have the heart to go with the game. And like I said, I don't think that it's just a cap that you can put on it. I think certain players peak and trend to go down or go up at different times. So with Tatum, I do think Tatum has a bigger window than what we give him credit for. I just think Tatum has gotten caught up in the system they play, which is jack up threes all the time. And I don't think that's conducive to his game. I think if he had a different coach that would put him in the post more in the mid post where Kobe Bryant and those guys used to operate, where Mike used to operate at, use his size as an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think if they use him in different ways, I think that he would be a different player. I think the fact that the coach now that they have only uses, you got one of the two most athletic wings in the league, and all y'all doing is jacking up threes all game. Like, I don't like that. I think that Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum should be more diverse in their games, posting up some more, going to the phase, driving to the basket, using the athleticism to get to the cup. I think the threes should be a part of their game, but I think the basis of their game should be other aspects. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that they play like that because it makes Tatum look. It puts him in a certain mindset that
that's all I could do. This is all I can do.
Yeah,
I can do other things. So now let me clean up what I was saying. So the point that I was making when I said year 5. Year 5 doesn't mean this is the best that you're going to be. No, year 5 means this is probably who you are moving forward. We're going to get better seasons. I watched Larry Bird in '88, averaged 29, 10, and he was 50, 40, 90. But moving forward, this is probably who he is. He's probably a 26, 7, and 7 guy. You're probably not going to get. You're probably going to get maybe later on some better seasons, but this is what you should expect from him. And
how are you getting that?
The examples that I give, like for example, you talked about like LeBron getting better. Sure, LeBron got better, but in year 5, which was I believe 2008. Okay, James improved his mid-range in 2012. He improved his mid-range in 2013. He improved his defense in 2009 and 2010. But in 2008, okay, this is probably who this guy is. He's probably a 26, 27, 7 and 7 guy, great rebounder, great transition player. This other stuff is going to improve, but this is what you should expect from him.
That wasn't true. I mean, he was 30 last year, year 20.
That's the point.
So hold on.
The point that I'm making is that he's going to have better seasons, but this is what you should expect moving forward. You shouldn't expect the guy averaging 30 a game for 8 years. That's not going to happen.
I misunderstood what you're talking about. I thought you was talking about like the peak of their game.
No. Absolutely not. No.
Okay. I'm about to say this. Your game, you get smarter in the game. You get smarter as you get older as you go along.
Right.
All right, Ron, can we get at some point, can we do a playoff team, remaining team power ranking or something?
We can get into that. Sure, we can do that today. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna read these super chats, and then Mars. I need you to break down a certain individual's rebounding from what you seen last night, because I know everybody was honed in on it and everything. So hold on just a second. We're gonna get to these super chats. LaFlame sent through a super chat, and he said, "Swiper about the Flame. The Celtics for losing one game while his king is getting swept. Mars banned from Boston after hate watching Jayson Tatum to say he can't rebound. That open gym was disgusting. Dub chill, Jub JT, Celtics in 5.
Well, they're gonna come find you, Mars.
Shout out Celtics fans.
They're coming to find you.
Anyone who watched that playback seen the truth. That's all I know.
How many box outs? How many box outs did you count, Morris?
Oh, we saw in 64 rebounds, we saw, I want to say 2 box outs. 2.
2?
2. Oh, no, we did it on playback. Don't worry.
Wait. But, Morris, you do also got to remember, a lot
there's
of
possessions
times,
where he boxes out and doesn't get
boxing out for somebody else.
Yes, I understand. I understand. That's why you go watch the games for yourself. I can say, personally, I've seen Jayson Tatum box out about 6 times in the playoffs. But like you go watch that for yourself to see.
Mars was on my case yesterday.
We did the maths of Jayson Tatum's 64 rebounds that he had in the postseason before last night. Now he's at 71. One of them he didn't even get. Porzingis got the rebound. They just gave it to Jayson Tatum. So already fraudulent. And then we said 12 to 16 of them were contested. 4 were contentious. 12 on the pessimistic and 16 on the optimistic. 12 to 16 were contested.
Terrible.
And that doesn't include all the times where he actually had to get a rebound through contact, where there was even less of them. And
see the most inflated rebounder in the league?
See, Ron, what you started? Ron, see what you started? This is your fault, Ron. This is what you started.
In my humble
estimation, Ron, this is what you started. See?
In my humble estimation, Jayson Tatum has the biggest discrepancy between his rebounds per game and his rebounding.
This is what you started.
How many rebounds did he track? Like, how many did he actually chase after?
Like,
did you count those?
Terrible.
Like 5, I want to say. Like 5. We gave like the rebounds that he tracked, like he had to go and get. We gave that to him as good rebounds, and like no one's around him, but like still, he went and got it. So we gave
are we
16 rebounds were either contested, good rebounds, or you had to go track them. 16 out of 64.
Oh, 16 total is tracked and
relatively contested.
Okay. So you're telling me Jayson Tatum has. You're telling me
75% of his rebounds were with no one around him where he had to do nothing.
They just fall to him.
Yes, we watched
40 plus rebounds.
And if you add last night, because Ron's gonna ask, he got 7 rebounds last night. One of them was where he had to do something.
Yeah, that's
wide open.
That's because they're jacking up a lot of shots, Mars, and that's because of the situation. Like I said, somebody in the comment section said, "Oh, y'all vouching for another coach to be fired." No, he should have never been a coach in the first place. He should have never been an NBA head coach in the first place, bro.
Not that soon. Not he wasn't ready. Not that he.
Yeah. No, I mean he wasn't even the set. Was he? He wasn't even the lead assistant coach.
No.
So he was like he was like behind the bench, if I'm not mistaken. So he should have never
like the 3rd or the 4th guy.
Right. He should have never been in that position. And this is what Mars said goes to coaching. It goes like if you have coaches like Pop, if you have coaches like what's the coach in New York, Bob? Tibbs. Mm-hmm. If you have coaches like that, them coaches are going to stress that you do those small things, box out, do these other things. A lot of these coaches aren't able to get through to these players because they know too much. They don't want to listen. Like a box out saves the Lakers season. A box out saves the last series, the Philadelphia 76ers in a couple of those games. Mm-hmm. But when you don't box out, you let Josh Hart go get 15 rebounds, 16 rebounds. And this dude is what, 6'3", 6'4"? And you got dudes 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" in the basket, not boxing out, and we watching this on tape. That shows me Chilltown they're not watching film. And if they are watching film, they're not paying attention. And if they are not paying attention, they're not just not doing their job and paying attention to detail in the game. Because if Mars says that that's the stat for Tatum, where he only had to really work for 1 rebound in a game, and then he's not boxing out on a regular basis. Like when the shot goes up, he's not finding a man boxing him out. These dudes ain't playing fundamental basketball. They playing street ball, basically.
I don't want to hate on Joe Mazzulla because I really don't think Joe Mazzulla is all that bad of a coach. I don't think he's a bad coach at all. But what I do want to say is it's a clear difference night and day between when them boys had Ime and when they got Joe. It was a complete difference.
Ron, if Ime said they already won a championship by now.
Wasn't he third in Coach of the Year voting this year?
I want to say
or second.
It was Dagnall, Mosley, and Mazzulla, right?
I think so.
He's horrible. He's nowhere near the coach of Orlando. He's nowhere near.
You think Mosley better than him like that?
Yes.
Mosley has a few years on him though.
The coach of Minnesota Timberwolves runs laps around him. Ron, his only answer to everything is to shoot threes, shoot more threes.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Hey, what I didn't know is that Coach Finch was on that New Orleans Pelicans staff with Ray Jean and him. I listened to Ray Jean's interview last night. I was in the car, and I listened to Ray Jean's interview he did with Jeff Teague and them boys. I suggest y'all go check that out, man. Ray John's a basketball genius. That's why he's a top 5 point guard of all time. I would not.
All right.
You got to go watch that interview, and it just
he's a great mind. You're gassing it like a
I don't want to argue, Swiper. I don't want to argue.
But hey, I will tell you my favorite point guard out of college, Rondo. Oh yeah, Rondo was out.
I think Bickerstaff may be better than him too. He just don't have the same personnel he got.
Well, JB's been coaching for years though. Like he has like a lot of stuff on his resume. He just has more experience.
I mean, he coached this team. He coached. What he coached?
It's also in the blood too.
No.
So
his father, Tony Bickerstaff, his father.
You can say a lot of coaches would be better with the Celtics roster though. Like that kind of goes without saying. But look at what Joe Mazzulla did though. You can't say he's a bad. What do you mean? What did he do?
What are you saying? We're saying relative to the top of the league in his position.
Well, see, that's what I'm not trying to do. I'm trying to congratulate him for what he did.
I don't think I've said this himself, and like I don't think he's a top 7 or 8 coach in the league. I think there are some careers.
The way y'all talk about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, the way y'all talk about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and the way you guys were talking about Kristaps Porzingis before this season lets me know that there is some confusion going on here. How do y'all?
If the players aren't that good and the coaches are not good, how did they win so much?
And then also say
that sounds like what Tatum was saying yesterday in the press conference.
Then they win 60 games.
But you can do that in the regular season. Threes, bro.
No, but I think Tatum kind of pigeonholed himself in that yesterday, and I think my direct response to that, Ox, is Kristaps was a borderline all-star player last year. I don't know who said he wasn't good. He played great last year, had a career season arguably. Tatum is a top 10 player in the league. Jaylen Brown's a top 30 player in the league, top 25 player in the league. You had Drew Holiday, who was a tremendous pickup for nothing. And then on top of that, with Kristaps, Derek White's been exceptional. He was an all-star talks this year. Al Horford's a great veteran. They have a good bench, decent bench, Hauser, Cornette, whatever. Xavier Tillman they picked up from Memphis. Brad Stevens, one of the best. He got executive of the year this year. He had the best all around year.
So you named a bunch
Springer,
of guys who, if I ask Tiki, you say these are journeymen and role players.
No, they went to the NBA Finals. They went to the finals.
These aren't journeymen and role players.
No, but they went.
Which one?
Porzingis, this is his fourth team. Porzingis, this is his fourth team. Porzingis, this is his fourth team.
How many teams does Al Horford play for?
4.
Hold on. Al Horford's a former all-star.
These are journeymen and role players.
Wait.
Explain itself. Go ahead. Explain yourself.
On top of that, y'all hate on Jaylen Brown. You hate on Jayson Tatum. You hate on Kristaps Porzingis. And then y'all hate on Joe Mazzulla.
What have they done?
Tell me how journeymen and role players.
What have they done?
Hey, Ron, come to me after we get done with this little thing.
And 2 overrated stars and a bum of a coach are winning 60 games. Somebody explain to me how Joe Mazzulla is a bad coach.
No, I got it.
I need to know how Joe Mazzulla is a bad coach.
Just to be clear,
and y'all talking about these journeymen and role players.
I'm trying to.
And 2 overrated stars. One that got 2 left hands, 2 right hands, and 2 right feet. How are these guys so bad and the coach is so bad, but they're 60-win team? Please,
but Ox, you cut me off to go back into the narrative.
Somebody stop lying. These are journeymen and role players. Use this name. I'm sick of the bullshit. Joe Mazzulla is not a bad coach,
you cut me off to talk the narrative. I'm talking the hoops. Like
I'm not talking
Jayson Tatum.
I'm trying to throw the narrative back on y'all.
Okay, but Ox, hold on. But Jayson Tatum is a top 10 player. Jaylen Brown's a top. All right, cool. I'm not ticking. I can't speak to that.
But then when you talk bad players. Come on,
Ox. I'm saying that's cool, but let me just get this off. Tatum's top 10, Jaylen Brown's top 30, Kristaps top 40 player this year. Derek White was exceptional the entire season. Joe Mazzulla is still a good coach. There's just a gap between Tatum in the top of the league in players, Joe Mazzulla in the top of the league in head coaches. But they have Brad Stevens. They have the everything that they would need to be an elite team. No, Ox, and listen. I'm not saying any of them.
It just looks like Joe Mazzulla got a bunch of guys that weren't all that successful in the past experience.
No, but where did that come from? Ox, where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just hate on the internet.
No, but hold on. But Ox, tell me how Kristaps Porzingis is a journeyman.
Ron said Joe. How was Kristaps Porzingis a journeyman?
But the situation,
no,
but the situation for him is completely dependent.
No,
hold on. Remember, he had injuries. He had injuries.
Now,
no, there's not. No, that's what I'm saying, dude. We're just doing narratives, bro. If we're not doing, if we're not talking basketball, then I get it. But if we're talking narratives, he had an injury with the New York Knicks. The Knicks were not constructed well. They traded him away for nothing because of the contract and other thing. He went to Dallas. He did not work out with Luka Doncic. He accepted blame for why he did not work out with Luka. That was partially his fault, partially the system. Then he goes to Washington. They were nowhere to be seen anything. They remember Dallas got off of him because of him and Luka's relationship and because of some of the stuff with the injuries in the playoffs. Then he goes to Washington, has a great year in 2022-23. Yep. Great season. That's why they got him for so cheap. They got him for nothing, and then this year they get basically a borderline all-star player who had numbers similar to Lauri Markkanen last year in terms of not in terms of volume, but in terms of efficiency and all that. And then next thing you know, they get he's a good rim protector as well, and he comes with the Celtics, and he's the reason why, coupled with all these other players and the good coaching, why they get to that point. So that's what I'm saying to you, Ox. It's like they don't have high, top-end, best of the best at player or coach level. But you don't need that to win 65 games if your roster's that good and you have a B-level coach. But you also admit, though, Ox, I would imagine, that you don't think that Joe Mazzulla is a better coach maybe than Spo or like a Finch or Malone or Mark Daigneault or one of those coaches.
This is the thing. See, even with Coach Finch, I think you got to be a good coach to create. But
Taylor Jenkins. Do you like Taylor Jenkins too?
I think we're doing. I like Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins.
I think
Joe. But Finch. I just want to say, I think a lot of times we see teams like this, and then we jump on. Oh, Finch is such a great coach. But what happens if next year he faces not that he didn't face adversity last year or anything with Cat going out, but let's say he faces something like Jaden McDaniels, God forbid, goes down. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say they slide, they're no longer a top 5 team.
Or last year, losing Cat.
Losing Cat. I brought that up. But
they were integrating a new system.
Coaches, it takes a longer time. It takes a longer time for us to see who was a good coach. A coach can have a good season. Good coaches have bad seasons, bro. You got to let these coaches get their time in before we start ranking these coaches.
But I think we're talking about Mazzulla right now, though. We're talking about Mazzulla right now.
We are, and I'm not mad at Joe Mazzulla though. I don't think he's a bad coach.
But I'm saying, Ox, you also don't think he's better. But you don't think he's he's like a top 5 coach, for instance. You can still look at you can say Finch, Malone, Spo. Some of y'all like Taylor Jenkins. I'm not saying everybody, but then even Mike Brown. Mike Brown with Sacramento, who just won unanimous coach of the year last year. I'm not saying Ime Udoka. Steve. I know people have issues with Steve Kerr. I get it. You can feel how you want to feel.
Yeah, they got issues with Steve Kerr now. They do Damo, but my bad. Swipe
Damo.
My bad. So people are saying that about Steve Kerr now, but just 2 years ago, Steve Kerr was a top 10 coach of all time. So it's like the coaching flip is just crazy to me. I hate.
But Warriors fans don't like Steve Kerr though. It's all about Steph. That's the only reason they don't like him because they don't feel like he's maximizing Steph Curry. So that's not even. That's what I'm saying. That's not like based on basketball.
Coaches are up against it way more than players are. Is all I'm saying. It's a lot harder to prove that you're a good coach.
I think I've been saying that players need to be.
Yeah, but I ain't talking about him, Chilltown. I'm not talking about him, bro. His situation was different. He should have never been the head coach. The only reason why he got the job, we know why he got the job, because the Celtics didn't want to look a certain way after letting a black coach go. That's the only reason why, because he wasn't the lead assistant.
Man, they didn't care. They had good reason to let that man go. They didn't need to say for that.
He had no experience.
They had great reasons to let him go. They should let him go again.
That's crazy for him to say that. That's not even a valid point. It's not a valid point. So you're making a statement based on no bullshit basis.
As a lead. Hold on. He had no experience as a lead assistant coach. He had no experience as a head coach. He had no experience in the G League, and he got the keys to a Lamborghini. And what we saying is he's got a few dinks in it right now. Last year he crashed a Lambo. They took it back to the shop and got it fixed up. Now forget Porzingis, because y'all picked them to win last year, or Chilltown did, without Porzingis. So now you add Porzingis to that, and now Porzingis is gone, and now y'all are saying, "Oh, this is the big no."
They have Robert Williams.
People were saying Derek White should have been an all-star this year. So you saying he's a journeyman? He was a baller for the San Antonio Spurs. And then he came over to this team, and he was a borderline all-star. People were saying he should have been an all-star. So you had him, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. Those are 3 guys in your starting lineup right there. Right. All I'm saying is this. The reason why I don't think he's a better coach is because he doesn't maximize those guys on both ends of the court like he should.
They got Derek White for a first round pick and Josh Richardson, I believe, is the whole package they play for.
That is not a bucket of extra crispy in a six pack. That is not. That's actually that is not a bucket of extra crispy in a six pack.
That's nothing.
No, it's not. But
even at the time, remember, like people thought it was like
how many picks you say?
A one in Josh.
One in Josh Richardson.
Who, by the way, I'm gonna say Josh Richardson. I don't think he's as good as Derek White. No, but he was a rotation player like Derek White was. He was a rotation player like Derek White was. And that first round pick, what do we think it's going to be?
Didn't he get player of the month in December or just last year, December, November last year? Derek White for the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think
and then Derek. The thing is, and Derek's been their best player. He's been their best player in the playoffs so far, and to be able to get that kind of value, and I think Joe Mazzulla deserves credit for that, though. Ox, like seeing what's in front of him,
I think so. Yeah,
and being like, okay, Drew, cool, Jalen, cool, hey, Jayson Tatum, cool. Who their best playmaker is Derek White. Put the ball in his hands, let him make the decisions, let him navigate some of those pick and rolls, create for opportunities for other people, and then he's been great. He's been literally excelling in his role.
You got to look at it though. You got to look at it, Swipe. This is 4 teams for Drew, 4 teams for KP, 3 teams for Al Horford. You can't deny that Derek White hasn't improved under Joe Mazzulla. You cannot deny that Derek White hasn't improved under Joe Mazzulla.
Just to be fair,
Jaylen Brown has no left. He was good. Damn a left hand. Jaylen Brown doesn't even have a left arm to speak of. Jayson Tatum, you speak on all of his downfalls all the time. He's terrible on the clutch. He shoots this and that. His true shooting is that and this. You talk about all of this, so you can't look at all these things. Not only that, Cornette's a bum. Hauser's a bum.
They're not bums. They're not bums. They're just white. They're just white in Boston. They're not bums. They're good players.
Peyton Pritchard. I like Peyton Pritchard a lot. But I mean, you're talking about you're even going to sit here and hype up Luke Cornett so that you don't have to say that.
No, Sam Hauser was good this year, though. It wasn't.
Yeah, but you're ignoring that you're going to sit here and hype up Luke Cornett just so that you don't have to.
I didn't even mention. I just said he's on the team. He's not one of their main 7.
Hey, Ox,
he's not one of their main 7.
I got a quick question for you, Ox. Ox, you said journeyman. How many teams do you consider you have to be on to be a journeyman in the NBA?
I think four is a journeyman.
Hold on. Do you agree with that, Chilltown?
No.
So, but you just said that. You was just nodding your head yes when he said journeyman. When he said 4 years, because LeBron James should be a journeyman because he played with 4 different teams, right? I'm saying. So KD's a journeyman, right?
He played for 3 different teams.
I'm asking. What was Shaq? Was Shaq a journeyman?
Shaq became a journeyman at the end of his career.
He's saying Shaq was a journeyman by the Heat.
So are we calling KD a journeyman? Are we calling LeBron a journeyman?
KD's a journeyman. KD's a journeyman. Yeah.
First of all, James played for 3 teams. That's it. James only played for 3 teams.
Four.
No. Well, okay. Wouldn't Al Horford play for 4 too? Then
no. James only played for 3 teams.
No, he played for 4. He played for 4 teams.
No. Okay, that's fine. So Al Horford 4 teams. Drew 4 teams.
James Harden played for OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, Philly, and now the Clippers. That's 5.
And had a 30-point playoff game with every one of them.
Definitely a journeyman.
That beard had been all around the nation.
Shaq became
sweeping up dirty streets.
He got linked from all 4 corners of the world.
How many years is a journeyman, Ox?
Oh, I don't know.
But you don't think Kristaps Porzingis has a special situation though?
What?
It wasn't his play that was getting him traded.
The way not you Swiper, because I didn't know you when it happened. But the way that dudes was talking about Kristaps Porzingis had me sick this summer. Oh, the Celtics ain't do nothing. They went and got KP. He couldn't even win with Luka. Oh, Drew Holiday, he doesn't do nothing to shoot tour dates. That was a great trade. Dame's way better than Drew. They was talking about these dudes like they wasn't shit, Swiper. Now that they're doing this, and you got to give Joe Mazzulla some credit. Oh, no more KP.
Drew Holiday's a 5th option now when KP's on the court. That's a different deal. A 5th option from a 2nd option?
No. That's not a big deal. Drew Holiday's not no journeyman, bro. He's not a journeyman, bro. When you play,
great.
Swiper, when you play multiple years with one team, Like to me, a journeyman is like you're playing for a different team every 1 or 2 years.
That's what I was about to say. Let's get to the bottom of what a journeyman is. I'm making a point. I'm making a point that what Ox said about Kristaps Porzingis playing for 4 different teams. All right, that's different than Jimmy Jackson was a journeyman. He played for like 8 or 9 different teams in the NBA, right? Those guys like that, those are journeymen. A guy that's played for a bunch. Shaq became a journeyman at the end of his career. He went from Miami to Phoenix to Cleveland to Boston. He became that. That's what ultimately happened with him. He became a journeyman. James, he's only played for 3 different teams, and he's played for those teams for a long time. He's been in Los Angeles for 6 years. He was in Cleveland total 11 years. He was in Miami for 4 years. That's not a journeyman. When you playing for a long time for teams and then you moving on, as opposed to
Al Horford's not a journeyman. He played for many years in Atlanta.
How many years did he play in Atlanta? What, 7? I think he played 7, 8 years.
He played many years in Boston.
I think he played 4. I think he played 4 years in Philly.
How many years he played in Boston? Like 6, 7
total. I think he's played like total. I think he's played like 6 or 7.
Right, so he's not a journeyman. That's not a journeyman.
Who did you say? Al Horford. Al Horford didn't play. Al Horford didn't play 4 years in Philly.
He didn't. He signed a 4 year. He signed a 4-year deal for.
He didn't play. He didn't play 4 years in Philly. He was there. He was there for one, maybe 1.5.
Yeah, but he still has a lot more time with them other teams. And then when you look at the last guy you talked about,
he got traded to Oklahoma City. And
OKC. That's right. That's 5 years.
He never played in Oklahoma City. He never played.
He was there.
He played.
Did they shut him down, Mars? They shut him down for most of the year.
He played, and then they put him on the injury report for being old.
But Mars,
I forgot about that.
I don't.
That doesn't excuse one thing, Mars, and you can.
And then he went to Boston right after that, didn't he? And then everybody thought he was done. Yeah, they went there.
OKC shut him down quick. He basically got to rest for like 2/3 of the season.
That's why he looked so good. That's why he looked so good the next 2 years.
If Ime was a coach of this team,
these are glorified role players.
If Ime Udoka was a coach of this team would be more dominant right now than they are in the playoffs.
Even if that's true, Ticket,
I don't deny that.
At that point,
that's too bad, man. Here in Houston.
I won't argue that part, but I don't think that we give Mazzulla, like Ticket. You talk about Mazzulla, the fact that he wasn't a lead assistant, or 2 things can be true. Steve Kerr came from the booth.
Okay, now hold on. Now watch this. Now hold on. Watch this.
Hold on. I'm not done.
Watch what I'm about to do to you. Watch what I'm about to do to you. So Mars, what was the coach's name before Ime in Houston?
Steven Silas.
Steven Silas. That's who Joe Mazzulla is. The Houston Rockets. That's who Joe Mazzulla is if he had the Houston Rockets.
Are you honestly putting Joe Mazzulla and Steven Silas in the same category?
Steven Silas had a terrible relationship with people in the locker room. That was a different scenario.
And you put him in that job like they did Steven Silas. He comes, and Mars agrees with me.
No, he doesn't. No, Mars doesn't agree with you, Ticket.
No,
he does. Look at him. Yeah, he does. Look.
No, Mars, there's no way that you look at Steven Silas, who basically was running he wasn't even running the asylum. There was no discipline on that crew. There was nothing on that crew that he was doing correctly. I'd like to think that Joe Mazzulla, who has a basketball background, even though Silas has a basketball background, but the fact that Joe Mazzulla has a basketball background, he's been on the bench. He's actually been a head coach. He actually has been a head coach, not in the NBA, but he was in college. He was a head coach at, I think it was a Division III school, but he was a head coach, so he does have experience. And the fact that he would garner the respect of those kids, because he has the respect of those vets in Boston. So in order for him to get that respect from those guys in Boston, they got to buy into what he's doing. They have to buy into what he's doing. And the way that
bought into him? Hold on. You think Christian Woods, Boogie Cousins, John Wall, and all those dudes would have bought into Kaka?
Okay, first and foremost, John Wall and Boogie Cousins, they hardly played. That's number one. Number
two,
on the team. And even if they were, they would have had to. And I'm not. And this is what you're doing. You're trying to make this. What Ticket is trying to do is Ticket. You're trying to make this into them being a championship unit. No, that's not the same thing, Tony. No, that's not the same thing, Ticket. What it is me coaching and me getting these guys to buy into my philosophy and me getting the best that I can get out of these guys. Him being in Houston, he would have gotten more out of Jalen Green.
That's not true.
He would have gotten more out of those guys. Just like he wasn't just handed the keys.
If Joe Mazzulla would have had Alperen Şengün and Jalen Green and Jabari Smith, you don't think they would have had? Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yes, absolutely. They would have bought into what he's doing. You talking about this dude? No, hold on. You talking about this dude like he just was given the keys to a Lamborghini and don't crash the car, and they just gotta just listen to him. No. Players know when a coach doesn't know what he's doing. Magic Johnson proved that.
Bro, I'm saying the team that Steven Silas had. That's not the player Swiper just said. The team that
the team he inherited when James Harden left.
The team that he had. Joe Mazzulla is not doing nothing.
So you want to put him in the worst situation? That's what you want to do?
No, I'm giving him. So
flip it around and ticket. No, you hold on. So flip it around and ticket. Put Steven Silas on that Boston Celtic bench. Are they winning 64 games? Are they winning 64 games?
I'm giving him most situations. Rookie head coaches get put
No, you're not. No, you are not.
Most rookie head coaches get bad teams.
Okay, so flip it around and ticket. Put Paul Silas on that Boston Celtic bench. Are they winning 65 games?
I guarantee you one thing. Hey, Mark.
No, ticket. Are they winning 64 games? Yes or no? Are they in contention to win the NBA championship?
Who you talking
Paul
about?
Silas. With Steven Silas on that bench.
Yes, they don't even need a coach to do
that. Give me a break. See the end. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Anybody. This is nonsense right here.
Coach in Charlotte is better than Cockeye. The guy they just hired.
Charles Lee.
Yeah.
Him. And guess what about him? He out here cussing dudes out, snapping on dudes.
Charles Lee.
I don't know about him.
Yeah,
that's his name, Charles Lee?
Yeah.
He wanted Joe Mazzulla's assistants.
They got one.
He better than
that. How about that, Mars?
Charles Lee, huh? He a brother?
Yeah.
Hey,
Mars, you gonna
Charles Lee. He from some backwoods somewhere.
The point is that just because I'm the coach and I'm on an ultra talented team, that doesn't mean that it's going to be successful.
So what you going to say if he get out coached this series by Bickerstaff?
What am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Hold on, chill. The only way they lose this series if he get out coached.
That's not true. That's not how basketball works. You know that.
That's not true. That is true.
That's not how it works.
No. Swiper. You're right about in general, but I'm talking.
But ticket. My issue with that comment, and I'm not. This is not me trying to do a gotcha. I know, but you said similar about Doc Rivers.
You could do a gotcha though.
No,
I'm not trying to do a gotcha though. But he said similar about Doc Rivers when we bring it to Doc. I know, but I'm sorry, bro. The Cavs aren't that much worth. If they can win 2 games, they can win 4. I don't think so. I just don't agree.
When he got a team like that, they're supposed to dominate this team. The only way you lose a series like this is coaching. That's the only way you lose.
No, but if you can win 2 games against a team, you not winning 4 is mostly about marginal stuff. So I just don't agree with that.
You don't think? Hold on. Let me ask you this question. You don't think if Cavs win this series, you don't think it will be because of coaching?
So you know what
I think it will be a collection of a lot of things, coaching included.
So last night, let me ask you this question, Swiper. Last night wasn't about coaching when they went to Evan Mobley early and made it a point to get him going.
No, he made a 3 to start the game off. Like no.
They was going to him. They was
not a 3-point shooter. They left him open. They gapped off him like you're supposed to. He hit his shot, and then everybody else started going. Their defense collapsed around Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and they started hitting shots down the third quarter, and the game was over.
Going to him in the post.
Yeah, but that's cool, bro. I'm not tripping about Evan Mobley beating me in the post. The problem is he's a vertical spacer with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and that was hurting them yesterday. There's a lot of reasons why that was happening. If you're giving me a post touch with Evan Mobley 9 times out of 10, I'm cool with that. I'd rather that than Donovan Mitchell shooting the ball or finding an open 3-point shooter, to be honest with you. So I don't have a lot of issue with that.
I thought it was a great game plan, Swiper. I thought what he did last night was this. I thought he changed that way they was going to approach as far as Spidey completely just taking over the game by getting other dudes involved. I think they're making Al Horford old ass move his legs and play defense vertically and laterally.
Can you do that 4 times? That's going to be Tatum, but Tatum and Brown and them have to underperform as well for that to happen.
No, but I'm saying, hold on. This is what I'm saying.
Be clear about that part, Swiper. That part matters.
Not necessarily, though. They did got beat by 20 last night. Hold on. They got beat by 20 last night.
Can't we say Tatum and Brown are underperforming in part because of what the Cavs are doing on defense, or we just say it's just because of that?
I think a lot of the shots that they got last night, Mars, were wide open looks. I think a lot of the stuff that they got last night, they get it when they want it. I just don't think that they converted on it. Don't get me wrong. I think that the Cavs have one of the best defenses in the league, but I don't think that was largely due to their defense last night.
Hold on. So you don't think the coach? Hold on, Chittown. So you're with Swiper on this. You don't think you didn't see the clear adjustment in the game plan last night?
I think that's what you're missing. I'm not one of those people where just one thing. When you lose a basketball game, there's a collection of things that happen over the course of the game, including coaching. You can have a coaching drop off. Your players, they don't handle the moment well. They don't handle the pressure well. They miss their shots. They don't read their keys. They lose their assignments, and that collectively loses you a game or a series. All that has to happen for Boston to lose. I'm looking at yesterday saying players didn't perform up to snuff. Their defense was trash. The scheme sucked as well, and Mazzulla got out coached. That all had to happen. Every bit of it had to happen for them to lose by 20 points.
So ticket for the adjustment point that you made when he went to Al Horford, right? When they went at Al Horford,
yes.
Right? When they went at Al Horford, well, the adjustment was to bring in Cornette and get and get another big guy around the basket. Well, what ended up happening there was now Derek White is chasing Darius Garland instead of playing drop. He's chasing Darius Garland. Cornette, which I'm sure that Joe Mazzulla told him to step up on the screen, but he couldn't step up on the screen. So it was still dropped, and he ended up knocking down those shots. So now he's got to come off the floor. That had nothing to do when we talk about coaching adjustments, that was a coaching adjustment that didn't work. It wasn't like it was a bad adjustment because I don't have my other big guy. So I gotta go with this guy.
So if it didn't work, that means he ain't shit. So all I'm saying is this.
That does not mean that, ticket.
Because the biggest, hold on.
It means that this is what I have to go with. I don't have my primary big man.
The biggest adjustment that's going to get him beat again this year. This is the biggest adjustment. And if they play the Knicks, they're going to lose to the Knicks because of this adjustment he won't make. They will not stop shooting threes. That is the biggest thing they have to pivot from, bro.
No, they don't, Ticket.
They're not going to pivot away from shooting thhree. That's their baseline.
This is what we do.
Where have you been? Have you not listened at all? This is what they do all year. No, but Ticket. 47% of their shot profile in the regular season was from 3 pointers.
I know that.
They're not changing that.
45 threes a game. 45 threes a game.
Hold on. But that's
like telling Denver, okay, Denver, Joker, we running the offense through you on the nail. We got to stop doing that. Now we got to do something else. Wait a minute.
That's my whole. Hey, hold on. That's my whole point to y'all. The fact that he won't change that, and he sees he has to understand that is not the path to victory to win a world championship. Even when the Golden State Warriors won a world championship, people was mistaken in thinking they were all threes. No, they were a great mid-range team. They were a great defensive team. They were a disciplined team. This team is not disciplined. This team is not disciplined.
What?
This team, I'm telling you the truth. We saw it last year against a good team like the Miami Heat. And I'm telling you, if you run into another team that's similarly coached to how the Miami Heat were coached, with a guy who's healthy and Jalen Brunson, with the way all those other guys are playing, you're going to see a rerun in the conference finals. I'm telling you this. He's going to get out-coached, bro. Listen, again, when you have a guy like Tatum, when you got to have a guy like Jaylen Brown, and all you're doing is majority of the time shooting threes, bro, and you don't have no kind of switch up. You don't have no ulterior plan to if that's not working. You're a bad coach. He hasn't shown you that he can switch up.
But hold on. I think where you're going a little strong is he also has and I got to give him credit for this, and Tatum. They utilized the post more this year than they have in previous seasons as well. What they did was they Houston Rocket their offense where they had the 3-point shot, but they also do utilize the post with Tatum and Kristoff in them. The problem is that if you keep them out of that spot, like, oh, show, hedge, like we're not going to let you just collapse on us whenever you want, then they're going to shoot around the perimeter. But that's JB Bickerstaff. Like, they know what their advantages are. They have size on the wings. Don't let them use that. It's the same thing. That's what coaches do. You make those kind of adjustments. So, again, it's not. This is where Ox was pushing back. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he's an elite coach. I don't think he's an elite coach. It's that simple. But that's okay.
I think he's bad. That's me.
All right, y'all. We got him.
He lose before they get to the finals in the East. He's gonna get fired.
Which now goes back to okay. If he loses in the East and doesn't get back to the finals, who's running the unit?
But he didn't. Hold on. But he didn't do what Ime did with the same team.
This is not the same crew. What did Ime do?
What did Ime do exactly? What did he do?
He took him to the finals.
And do you know how they got to the finals in the first place?
Defense, discipline, accountability.
No. Jimmy Butler got hurt. That's what happened. He got hurt, and it saved him. That injury saved him. But that's what I'm saying. That's how the margins work. He literally had a quad injury and didn't play the rest of the way. Or he played, but he wasn't the same player when he got hurt. Each got fouled, and then he had a 3-point shot wide open. No, this is all I'm saying. Ticket. He's a great coach, but that's what I'm talking about basketball. They were a Jimmy Butler 3 away from not making the finals. Does that somehow mean he's a disappointment? No. But then when they got to the finals, they play versus Steph Curry and friends.
He's playing drop coverage on Steph Curry. Ticket.
Killed.
He's playing drop coverage.
Ticket. You admit they got murdered. You admit they got murdered in that series.
Ticket. Man, that was a good plan, man. You guys are hating. That was a good plan.
No, but Ticket. You agree. You agree he got out coached in that series, Ticket, right?
Joe Mazzulla's playing drop coverage on Kyrie Irving.
I'm not going to say he didn't get out coached in that series.
That's cool. That's cool.
All I'm saying is that Joe Mazzulla has a better team. And if he doesn't even at least do the same of what Ime does with a way better team, better point guard play. Because remember, they cried about Marcus Smart being erratic. Chilltown was up here crying about MarcusArt being erratic on the ball.
And they upgraded at the point guard spot. And they upgraded and got Jawad.
He won him a game in the playoff last year when Tatum sucked.
I'm saying you got a better point guard. You got better with White. This year he got better than he was last year. You also got better around the edges with Porzingis. Mm-hmm. And now, you know what I'm saying, Pritchard and those other guys are stepping up. Yep. And you've been able to bring Al Horford off the bench. Bro, you got a way better team. If he don't at least, and listen, they said he's supposed to walk through the East. If he don't at least win the East and get to the finals, bro, he's a horrible coach. I guarantee you one thing, if you gave Tibbs that team, he'd be in the NBA finals guaranteed.
Tibbs, yeah. You know why? Because Tatum played 40. He played 47 minutes a game. They would have zero bench whatsoever. Tatum be averaging Wilt Chamberlain numbers because he played every minute of that game. 1,000%.
Bro, because he can coach. That's why.
Fellas, we gotta move on. I got
if Embiid and them is healthy, they're out in the first round. Ticket don't say that.
Hey, hold on, Ron. Before I go, let's get him on the docket real quick. So, what's your prediction for the game tonight?
Who is him? Me?
I'm saying, what's your prediction for the game?
Who's is him?
Tonight we got the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, fellas.
What's your prediction for Jokic
tonight? Game 3
and the Nuggets?
Game 3. What's predictions tonight? Game 3.
Who all plays tonight? Just the Nuggets?
It's the Knicks and the Pacers play before that. But as of right, we're not going to talk about what the Pacers going to do to the Knicks tonight.
Now, let's talk. I want to talk about the Nuggets.
Why are you leaving? Ticket, you ain't got nowhere to go. Your contract says 2 hours. Your contract says 2 hours.
Bro, you know what the final boss
He showed me. He showed me the contract. He said 2 hours.
He did show you did show us the track. Ticket. Hang out.
That is your man.
Hang out. Anyway, like you just said, Ron, I don't think we're going back to Denver. I think the series is over. I do. I think that what they do, I think they turn up what they did now. What I feel like Denver is going to do, I feel like Denver's going to try to match that physicality, and that's not them. That is not them. It's basically what the Knicks did with Indiana. No, that's not how you guys are. Now, don't think you're physical. I don't think you. Not like that. I don't think that you're physical like that. Absolutely not. I feel like the same thing that the Knicks did to Indiana, where they made them play their game. I think Minnesota is doing the exact same thing to Denver, where they're more physical. I feel like their defense has basically turned you guys away from everything that you're trying to do, and I think that that's going to turn up even more when you get to Minnesota. I feel like the whistle is not going to blow early, and I feel like that also is going to be something that's going to take you guys out of your game. I think getting Joker involved more, I feel like getting Joker involved more as a scorer is going to be something.
If Murray doesn't play trash in the first half, they'll win. He's averaging 12 points a game in the series.
So now it depends on Murray. They win, right? Not Jokic, right?
Well, do you realize it's
that's what I said. Whenever Murray plays well,
you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. You know why? Because it's a team.
I want you to say that though.
Murray has to. He's averaging 12 points a game.
I want you to admit the truth though. And when Murray does not play well in the playoffs, they lose. See, hold on, and this is the reason why. Because your boy Jokic can't level up like the all-time greats. For example, Game 6. NBA Finals. Scottie Pippen ain't got it.
I could have swore 30, 13, and 10 sounds pretty good through a playoff run, but I guess
and what did Murray do all those games? Balled out. So and that's the reason why you won. So all I'm saying is this.
How many points did Murray have in Game 5 of the finals?
Jokic cannot 14? Win, y'all. If Murray does not play well,
how much did Jokic have? 28 on 16 shots.
And Chilltown, this is what we saw, right? We saw Mike, Game 6. On the road in Utah, 98. Scottie Pippen ain't playing well. He scored half the team points.
Versus the Utah Jazz.
We cannot
folded down the stretch of the fourth quarter.
This is what I'm saying to you, though. We have never seen Jokic.
I should blame you for.
We have never seen Jokic level up and be able to go carry it himself. Tell that boy to carry.
So wait. You're just to be clear. Again, you're saying versus any team in the playoffs, you've never seen them level up.
No. I'm saying Jamal Murray didn't play well. I'm talking about Jamal Murray didn't play well. When is he winning?
So for instance, in the Portland series, when he averaged 30 on 50, 40, 90 in that series, and then closed out 6. This is 2021. So you're saying when he closed him out in that 6 and then scored however many points in the fourth quarter, you're saying that like that's not like that he did just not leveling up.
What did Jamal Murray do that game?
He was out. He was not in the playoffs that year.
Oh, that was in the first round?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was against Lame Dollar. Next.
Oh, okay. So that's why I asked. Is it versus competition? Like, does that matter? Okay.
Hey, Mars.
I got
against
you.
Lame Dollar. Next.
So wait, when Murray averaged 23 on 55 true shooting in the second round last year versus the Phoenix Suns, when Jokic averaged 35, 13, and 10, like you don't think that was leveling up? First person ever averaged 30 point triple double in a series win?
Hold on. Here's my whole point to you. All I'm asking you is this: why don't the Nuggets ever win big if Murray don't play well? Why do it always have to depend on how Murray play?
Well, what do you mean if Murray doesn't play well? I don't understand that. They beat the Timberwolves by 20 in game 1 last year. I think Murray had like 20 points.
Jokic should get his numbers, and he'll do what he do numbers wise. But they'll lose in those. I'm talking about in those big games.
Doesn't that logic apply to Shaquille O'Neal though? Doesn't that logic apply to Shaq?
100% it does.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but here's the thing.
He needed Bryant to do what Bryant did in order.
Hold on, but even though that applied to Shaq, he still was better than Jokic.
Wait a minute. I don't know what those two. Where the correlation is between. We already know. Shaq even before Bryant turned into Bryant. Shaq was still better than Jokic. That part I won't argue.
He was better than him in his prime.
Yeah, we won't
Shaq
argue
was better than him all through his prime.
But the point is, I mean, if we're talking about numbers, Swiper, I think Jamal Murray averaged 15 and 9 in them last 2 games in the finals. I think it was like 15.
I mean, he was a great playmaker, but he wasn't scoring. Yeah. Jokic had to carry them because he was scoring at a high level.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Those last 2 or 3 games, Joker was like 30 and 10 and like 9.
30, 14, and 7 on 67 true shooting in that series. I don't know what to tell you. Like
they're not winning without that. They're not.
But they're also not winning without Jamal Murray doing his job. So I don't understand. Why is it an either or? Yeah, why is it an either or? Is it not a team?
Because not you, Swiper, but because some people push a narrative that Jokic is the greatest offensive player that we've ever seen.
But Magic needed Kareem to get that label, though. I don't understand why the two are inseparable.
No,
you think Magic is the same offensive player if he doesn't have Byron Scott and Kareem and all them on that roster, and Byron Worthy?
James Worthy.
Hey, man,
Byron Scott and James Worthy.
You could have put Band-Aid in a bar deal.
No, you couldn't have. You wouldn't have been the same player. You wouldn't have been the same player.
You could do the same. Hold on. You could do the same thing. You could do the same thing with certain point guards like J. Kidd.
What about J. Kidd? You mean J. Kidd that never won anything? That never won anything? That never won anything except when he had, except with the Nets, and then got bummed out in the finals, did nothing. And then when he went to the Mavs with Dirk, a top 22 player of all time, and in the elite roster.
But what we're not going to do is we're not going to say he did nothing.
No. But I'm saying they didn't win. I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about winning.
Doesn't mean that they didn't do anything.
No, but he's talking about winning.
Sure, he's talking about winning. But when we're talking about Cam,
I'm not talking about the player. Jason Kidd was amazing.
Right.
But did Jason Kidd get knocked because like he didn't win anything until he got Dirk in them? No. But he also is not winning a ring and Dirk doesn't do what he did and carry. Wait, did Dirk never carry for you ticket because he never won without J. Kidd?
Let me ask you a question. Was Kenyon Martin a rookie that year?
Oh, no, he wasn't.
No, I'm talking about the year they went to the finals.
No, he was not.
Kenyon Martin got drafted in 2000. They got to the finals in 2002. So he was.
They went to back-to-back finals, right, Mars?
Yeah,
2002 and 2003.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Kenyon was in his second year or third year?
Second and third.
Gary Kittles, Richard Jefferson, Van Horn.
Kerry Kittles.
Richard Jefferson was young too. Wasn't he like a?
He was a rookie in one of the finals.
It was the same crew the year before. The same crew. Take Stephon Marbury out. Put Jason Kidd in the NBA finals.
No, but Richard Jefferson wasn't on that team.
What's the last one he was?
In 03, I think was his rookie year.
Yeah. I'm saying no. I'm talking about what Chill said before then. All I'm saying is Swiper is this: it's certain guards you can put them in situations that was all time great that can turn water into wine.
They never carried in one without a big. They never carried in one without a big.
Hold on, Magic was one of them. These
he never won without Kareem.
Bro, hold on. I'm finna say this to you. There's certain guys that can do that to a franchise.
But he never won. Chill. You were bringing up winning. He never won anything. In 1991, what happened in that series versus Michael Jordan?
They lost in 5 games.
5.
Who was hurt?
Who are you talking about now?
He's bringing up the fact that he feels like Jokic can't carry. I'm trying to figure out Magic didn't win without Kareem, and then when he did, he was hurt in '91. He got smoked out in five games without Kareem.
The ball was retired in '91.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like if we're talking about carrying all of these all-time great players need another all-time great player to get it done. His favorite player needed an all-time great player to do it twice. Twice needed it.
Huh? Did Dirk need one?
Yes.
Who?
Yes.
Who was the other all-time great player playing with Dirk?
Jason Kidd.
You don't think that so wait, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, they had the defensive player of the year that year. What do you mean? What are you talking about? They were loaded. They were loaded.
Tyson Chandler.
I think Tyson Chandler was the defensive player of the year the next year, but I might be wrong.
Well, he still was playing at that level.
I'm saying they were loaded.
Yeah, I'm just.
And
Josh, you're right, Mars. You're right. But Josh Howard was on that team. They were all on that team. That team was great.
And let's not act like I can't hear you. But let's also not act like Jason Kidd got on that team the year they won the NBA championship.
He was there in
the team 3 years. He was on the team 3 years before they won it. 3 years before they won it.
He was a shell of himself.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. You got to stop.
He wasn't peak Jason Kidd.
He wasn't peak Jason Kidd. The year they won the championship, J. Kidd was not a shell of himself from what he was in New Jersey.
That's not the point, Ticket.
Because he wasn't in his apex. He wasn't in his apex prime. No, they were a different team. So wait a minute. Is that why you criticize LeBron so bad for 2011 because they lost to Dirk and friends? Is that why you criticize him so bad because you don't feel like they had an elite roster that year?
Hold on. If you had a super team, you almost lost to Paul George and Roy Hibbert. Then you you almost lost to Paul George and Roy Hibbert, bro. Then you go on.
So the team was awesome, Ticket. Knock it off.
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand that.
The team was damn good, Ticket.
But Ticket, again, Ron. I'm trying to close up this point because I'm trying to figure out which all-time great did not have a secondary option that was an elite player through a run, at least through a run. Who?
Hakeem.
They didn't have an elite roster through those runs. I didn't stutter at all. I'm asking a really basic question. You don't think they had an elite player on? They didn't have players on that roster helping carry through that run.
No, you said a clear elite.
Swiper, to answer your question, okay, you have some anomalies, but for the most part, over the last 40 years, when you have one player who wins, when you have a team that wins the NBA championship, you have one guy who's awesome and another guy who's also awesome. Now in '94, that was an anomaly. But the only reason why it was an anomaly because that crew had been together for a long time.
Chill, you saying now that was an anomaly. You praise Hakeem every single time.
Absolutely.
Now it was an anomaly, right?
But I'm saying, but like so 04 with the Chauncey.
Hold on, Swiper. Ticket. Do you understand what an anomaly is? An anomaly means that it was different. That crew was together. That doesn't discount what the Houston Rockets and what Olajuwon did. They were awesome as a unit. And Olajuwon was the head of that unit. But to Swiper's point, over the last 40 years, every team that has won an NBA championship, with the exception of the Houston Rockets, which is an anomaly.
But even in all-time conversation, is Jamal Murray going to sniff? Is he going to sniff an all-time great conversation like most of these other players had?
If he wins another championship, he's going to Hall of Fame.
No, but I'm saying, but he's never. I love Jamal. He's never going to be. He's never. He's going to be right above where Ron Harper is. Right below all the other players.
Hold on.
If Jamal Murray's going to the Hall of Fame, so is Ron Harper.
No. Jamal Murray. Hold on. Ron Harper don't got the same career Jamal Murray got.
Really?
But Ron Harper's actually made All-Star teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he did make All-Star team? Averaging in Cleveland? Oh, my bad, Ron Harper.
When Ron Harper was at his best in Cleveland, he was a role player. He was a role player when he won championships with Mike.
Okay, and so is Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's a role player too.
All right, hold on. When you look at Jamal, when you look at Jamal Murray,
he's a lower tier star.
Jamal Murray's numbers. Which is for the last 5 years, 18 and a half, 21.2, 20, and 21.2 this year.
Yep.
He does it another 4 years. That's Hall of Fame numbers right there.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ticket, because you know what? The Hall of Fame is the basketball Hall of Fame. And since we're talking about the NBA, Ron Harper got an 8 years, Ticket. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. 8 years. He averaged 20 a game, right? Not only did I average 20 a game in 8 years, add that to the fact that I was a starter, not on a championship team, not on two championship teams.
Huge. It was a huge point guard.
I'm the starting 2 guard right here. But
that man good.
But hold on, Ox. Let's rewind a little bit because what we're talking about the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. We're talking about the Basketball Hall of Fame. So let's talk about the fact that when I was in college, I didn't win Player of the Year in my league once. I did it both years in a row. Not only did I do it both years in a row, I averaged almost 20 and 10 in college. If Jamal Murray is a Hall of Famer, so is Ron Harper.
I disagree with that. I just think that Ron Harper had a bigger role in the championship team Jamal Murray had a bigger role than Ron Harper.
But Ticket, I think for sometimes when you talk, again, this is not a gotcha. We're having a basketball discussion. For me, when you talk about Jokic sometimes in this conversation, like can he not do it without Jamal? You can look at any of these all-time great bigs, from Bill Russell to Hakeem, had anomaly runs as he talked about. Even the team was still really freaking good, and there was also no Mike for so that's also a part of that conversation. So the whole conversation could have been different about Hakeem if Mike never takes that sabbatical. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying it could have been. But then even from that, Shaq needed Kobe and Wade. Bill Russell needed an elite roster. Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, what is he doing without the squad that he had? Moses Malone. All these players, they all had players on the roster to help them do what they did. I don't understand why Jokic is getting penalized for having Jamal Murray on his roster and needing a point guard, which is why, again, let me ask you this too. Sure. If Jamal Murray, if let me ask you this for real. If Devin Booker replace Jamal Murray right now with Devin Booker, do you think they're in a better situation right now?
Hell no.
Okay.
No,
for regular season, Devin Booker. No, I'm saying if they had a player in the regular season averaging 27, 5, and 5 at the point guard position, you think they would win more games?
I'm talking about makeup of player and things like that. Devin Booker isn't the makeup of a player of Jamal Murray.
No, I agree up here in the playoff, but I'm saying in the
my whole point to you is this, and I'm leaving it like this. And Bob, you can pick your head up, dog. You acting like.
But I'm not picking up nothing. But I'm tired of listening to you niggas up here just talking. What? Devin Booker and Jamal Murray. What's wrong with y'all? Take them tight ass hats off. You niggas can't think properly.
What's wrong with Devin Booker?
He mad because De'Aaron Fox is home, man. He mad because De'Aaron Fox is home.
I'm used to that. Oh, I don't got no problem with the Kings not making the playoffs. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm talking about y'all up here acting like if you replace Jamal Murray with Devin Booker, it's like a drop off or something. Like, I'm just not trying.
Well, you don't think Devin's an All NBA player or something?
I think Devin clears Jamal in every aspect of basketball.
Ticket's the one that pushed back though.
And I don't want to hear that. That's
crazy.
Well,
if he's that, why he keep getting his ass kicked every year?
Because he doesn't have Jokic.
Jamal Murray been looking like shit this whole playoffs too.
Hold on, but
what Jamal Murray has done, Devin Booker has done too.
That's the Ticket's point, though. He's been looking, and look where Denver is.
We all know. Hold on, we all know why Jamal Murray's been playing like this. We all know why.
I'm saying, Ticket.
I'm saying
Devin Booker look good next to an old Chris Paul.
Hold on, but
you put him next to a prime Jokic. I think the game switches up a little bit. I think it opens up a little bit more. I think he gets a few easier looks. You know,
089 Chris Paul.
I think the game's a little smoother for Devin Booker too.
According to Mars and Ox, he ain't supposed to be playing.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get Adam Silver online when we putting the kibosh on that.
Y'all did say
you ending that?
I didn't say that.
Prime Chris Paul.
No, we putting the kibosh on.
I didn't say that, bro.
No way.
You was in there preaching about guys not playing with
Mars. That was Mars. That was Mars.
Jokic with an all-time playmaker.
No, you didn't.
Nope.
21 and 10.
I need predictions for tonight, though. I need predictions. Game 3. Chill gave me his prediction.
All defense, Chris Paul.
Swipe a Ticket. I need your prediction. Ticket. I know you got to leave, so let me get your prediction first.
Y'all do, man. Y'all just hate on Jamal Murray. That's all.
Not me. You ain't talking to me.
Ox know what it is. Ox know what it is with Jamal Murray.
So Ticket, what happens tonight?
They get their ass
game
kicked
3.
Again. Hold on. They get their ass kicked again. Swiper gonna come back in here tomorrow talking about Jamal Murray, knowing he
tomorrow Saturday,
Monday.
Well, Monday, whatever it is gonna be, you gonna skip or whatever you gonna do. But
skip. I was here. I was front and center.
It's over, man. It's a wrap, bro.
I got you. Would you be comfortable putting a bet on now since you were early in the season, early in the series? I got you. Bad luck. Bad luck bet. Bad luck bet. It's gonna bite him right in the butt.
Every time I don't bet you, we win.
No, we ain't doing nothing with that one.
That's how it goes. Man.
It's not that we don't. It's not that we don't respect Jamal Murray. Ticket. You know how I feel about Jamal Murray. I think he's. I don't know if I can name. I know I can't name 10 tougher shot makers than Jamal Murray. I'm not sure I can name 5 better than him. And the way he played last year in the playoffs was great. Absolutely great.
Disrespecting him, no Chip.
No, it's not that we disrespect him. Ticket. You talk about him. You talk about him.
Y'all use the fact that y'all notice, and Ox noticed the biggest. Because Ox always be talking about stuff like this. When he talk about Sabonis and how Sabonis got robbed from all-star teams. So they use it, Jokic didn't have any other all-stars on the team. That's BS. Everybody knows that Jamal Murray
wasn't good enough this year, Chill, and he missed 23 games. That's why he didn't make the all-star.
Ticket, who comes off the all-star team?
Right, hold on. That's my point. Come on. But that's my point. So you know he's still an all-star level, but then when it fits your argument, you'll say, oh, he never made no all-star teams. This is the same stuff that happens with Sabonis. Guys getting robbed.
I mean, but Jamal Murray's not an all-NBA player. Like I've accepted that. Like that's
he's
just
an all-star, right? Is he an all-star level player?
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, yeah. In the regular season, he's CJ McCollum. He's better than CJ McCollum.
He's 20 and whatever in the regular season. That's all-star level, right?
20 and 6 on 40% from three-point line. Yeah, that's CJ McCollum.
That's all-star level, right?
I mean, no, not in this league. No, not in this league. Not in this league, no. Not with SGA and Luka and Steph and all them.
Damn, it was 105 years ago, little boy.
But that's not this league.
And you picked a good time to come up here. Hey, Habibi. You picked a good time to come up here, baby. Hey, because guess what, dog? If the left one don't get him, Chilltown, the right one will, baby. And as soon as we went off the air last night, we're going to overtime right now, y'all. Hold on 1 second. So as soon as we got off the air last night, yo boy back at it again, baby. Another coach fired. And guess what? This time he can't run from me. You know why? Because Kendrick Perkins snitched on that boy. Said that boy made the organization make a decision. Said he ain't talked to Frank Vogel in 5 months. Now you tell me, since Mr. You know what I'm saying, he ain't no coach killer. He ain't this. He ain't a player. He just crush a lot. What's up with your boy, dog?
Can't hear you, Dale.
You muted.
I get to answer.
Ron, I got ticket to fulfill his contract today. He's staying for 2 hours, saying not bailing out.
Go ahead, Dale. I'm sorry.
I get to answer today, Ticket, or you gonna cut me off?
I ain't gonna say that, bro. Listen, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm
I bet. Quick question: who hired Frank Vogel?
KD.
The organization.
No, Chilltown. Stop doing chill. Don't lie, man. They got Monty Williams fired, bro, after 1 year, bro. And Dell came in here and said it. Dell came in here and said Monty Williams deserved to be fired. I got him on tape.
Play the tape.
Play it. Let's hear it. Dell, did you say that, Dell?
Tell him play the tape.
Dell, did you say that?
He said it. Bro, he
play
said
the tape.
I'm going to play it.
Did you say that, Dell?
Come on, man. The fact of the matter, you should have known that he had nothing to do with Monty or Frank, because you ready for this?
So Perk
him
line,
and Monty is like this.
So Perk line, right?
Him and Monty's like this.
I'm saying so Kendrick Perkins is lying.
He went to Monty's wife's funeral. Him and Monty's like this. Forget Monty coached him in OKC.
Wasn't he on that OKC staff?
Forget Monty coached him in OKC.
He was on that OKC staff.
No, I'm saying, but Kendrick Perkins is lying, right?
You want me to give you information, or you want to say what you want to say?
And this is, and by the way, Ticket, this is firsthand information. By the way, this ain't.
I got firsthand information from Perk.
No, okay, and this is from the horse's mouth.
I don't think you know what firsthand information means. I'm gonna be honest. Perkins can't give you firsthand information on KD.
This guy is getting it from the source right here. Right here, this guy.
Him and Monty's like this. So you believe in whatever Perk want to say?
So why Monty ain't keep his job then? Because KD could have said, "I'm out if y'all fire Monty."
Sure. Oh, now you should have went with that angle first. Honestly, that's a better question.
I went with it second. It was my backup.
Yeah, whatever. Because you lied on the first one. Now you're reaching. Now you're reaching like a Fantastic Four. So listen, even this, y'all be saying all these coaches the Phoenix Suns hire. None of them ever make sense with me. But right now, it doesn't make sense for me. For me, it doesn't even make. For me, it don't even make no sense for him, honestly. So you're hiring another person that kind of similar to Bud. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. So you could say all this. He fired his coach. Basically, he's probably just playing the background, and we'll go see how this works. If it don't work, I'm gonna voice my opinion, and that's what it is. You just love him so much. You ran yesterday before you finished the questions of what did he do to you. I had some more, and you just left.
Ask him right now. Ask him right now.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it now. Let's hear it now.
So he lost because Ticket, one thing about you, I did a couple. You used to love the guy. You was a huge fan.
I ain't gonna lie, I used to like KD. I did.
Yeah, you was a huge fan.
So, Ticket, I didn't know that. Really, Ticket?
Like, yeah, until I said he was a snake, dog.
Somehow he's still loyal to Kobe, even though he had a trade request. Go ahead, Dale. Go ahead, Dale.
I used to like Swiper until I seen he was a hater. Go ahead.
I just got a deeper bag than you. Go ahead, Dale. Go ahead, Dale.
So before I ask the question, everybody always, Ticket, you've said this before. You've said it's Devin Booker team. You've said D Book is better than Slim. You've said all these things. But when it comes to hiring and fire a coach, you blame him. Why not blame the best player? How you know? Why not go to Devin Booker?
Kevin Durant is the one who, first of all, D Booker then went to the finals with Monty Williams. Soon as KD comes, who leaves? Chris Paul and all those dudes that help him get to the finals. Then who leaves? Monty Williams, the coach who coached him to the finals. Who stays? Kevin Durant. Who comes? Frank Vogel. Who gets fired? Frank Vogel. Who stays? Kevin Durant. You do the math.
Let me ask you a question. It's easier to replace an agent Chris Paul, a coach in Monty Williams, a coach in Frank Vogel, than it's easier to replace Kevin Durant. So what are you doing? That makes no sense to me.
Why would you replace Chris Paul and he was a point guard that got you to the finals a year before?
Answer the question again. It's easier to replace. It's easier to replace in this climate of basketball an agent Chris Paul, a coach, and two coaches than it is Kevin Durant. That's why. That's simple.
I disagree. You just trade his ass. That's all.
It's a business thing. Money.
So you think this is about business with KD as far as the ownership goes?
It's yes. Are you dumb?
No. I'm not dumb.
What? Are they going out Brian Frank Vogel jerseys? No, they're not doing any of that.
Man, I think it's a lie, bro. Hey, listen. When coaches get fired after 1 year, bro, that's the players, bro. I'm sorry, man. 1 or 2 years like that.
Could it possibly Ticket be the organization recognized that they screwed up and they failed? So
no, I'm saying because when you do that,
Byron Scott got filed within 2 years.
He's talking about 1 year. He's talking about 1 year. I'm thinking
Byron Scott.
Oh, that's because Kobe Bryant was gone. That's because Kobe retired.
Mike Brown got fired. Wait, how many games did Mike Brown have with the Lakers?
He had 3 coaches.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
3 coaches in one. By the way, Swipe it. They had 3 coaches in 1 year.
Yeah, no.
3 of them.
Well, first of all, you got to tell the truth. One of the coaches resigned because of Rudy Tomjanovich quit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you can't. That wasn't a fire. Rudy Tomjanovich resigned.
But Mike Brown got blamed.
Yeah, right. Mike Brown got fired. Mike Brown got fired.
Mm-hmm.
That was Mitch Kupchak, by the way, I believe.
No, that was Kobe Bryant. We own that.
We?
Yeah, we own that.
You a Kobe stan. I got you. We.
That was a depth. Hold on. That was a
depth. Yeah. Who a bigger player fan? You for KD or him for Kobe?
I like Kobe more than I like Slim. I'm a huge Kobe
you do?
fan. Yeah, Kobe. But
Both
I don't. I'm not biased to any of them. He's biased.
No, you're biased to KD. You are.
What's the bias?
You'll take a bullet for him.
Ew, no, I won't. Ew.
He said, ew.
Ew.
Top flight security of the world, Craig.
All right,
hey, Ron, you remember what he said? Ron, you remember what he said? That's the same shit Dale told KD. And I'll die for this shit too, dog.
Yo, I got some super chats to get into. We're gonna go ahead and do this, and then we're gonna talk about. We still got the Knicks and the Pacers tonight. We got to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Also, it was another game last night that we haven't got into.
Hold on. You gotta ask Swiper who gonna win the game tonight. That's the last thing I want to hear.
I gotta ask Swiper, Ox, and Mars though. And
yeah, I got
Nuggets.
I got Nuggets pulling this out. We'll see if they can make it exciting come Sunday.
In what type of fashion?
I don't even know. Just win a game. Shoot, stop playing around. Just win a game.
Ox, who you got?
Man, well, you can tap in tonight on Playback TV, and we will be watching that live, and we will be watching another ass whooping. I've definitely got the T-Wolves. The Nuggets
be sure to pull up to play
hard enough. The Nuggets stay not hard enough.
All right, Mars, who you got? And you'll be on Playback too after this on Open Gym. But who you got?
I don't know. I'm bored. I'll pick the Nuggets. Why not? Make it a good series.
All right. Dale, Nuggets, Wolves tonight in Minnesota. Who you got?
I got Wolves by like 10, but I have Nuggets winning game 4. So,
You hold on. You got them losing tonight.
Not losing ticket. If it's plus 10, they smoke them.
I got Wolves by like Yo, Ant Edwards is not to be ignored anymore. And
is he the best? Is he the best? You think American player right now?
No. See, I'm not
Kevin Durant.
I'm not into the like. Oh, he's playing the best right now, but I'm not into saying he's better than these players. I don't do that yet. That's not like Ticket changed his best player, his nice player from game to game, day to day. I can't no. Yes, you do.
Do you think KD? Do you think KD's the top 3 player in the world?
Yes, I do. I do.
You think he's the best player in the world?
Yeah.
I think Giannis the best
Oh, you do. So you are biased.
That's not biased to me though.
Oh,
I think Giannis is
like you. It's some people that think Jayson Tatum is better than him. I don't.
Well, that's chill. There's one person. There's no one else on planet that believes that.
No,
that definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. The game hasn't changed that much. I put context into everything, but into the basketball and how a person play and what could possibly happen. But it's not a day by day thing.
I mean, to say KD's the best player in the world in 2024, that seems like a stretch to me.
I did have a first team all Braun top 5.
Yeah, Braun top what?
5.
I didn't bring Braun. I said Kevin.
No, I know, but a lot of people don't have him top 5 either.
Well, I mean, but it's cool. Braun at least can show up in a playoff series, though. No, I'm just playing.
And Swiper, before you go, because I know you got to.
Yeah, you said Braun is cool.
I mean, no. I mean, I can get why the playoff bias with Braun for sure. I mean, I understand why people do that. He had a great series, 30-10 and whatever. Go ahead, Joe.
And before you go, just so you know, Swiper, I worked for an airline. I threw bags for 10 years, so I'm very familiar with customer service, very much so.
What does that mean?
That means that I'm very familiar with customer service. When you come to the airport, I'm the dude that's making sure that you don't get a middle seat. That's me. And I also,
for real?
Yeah, I'm also the dude in the belly of the plane, making sure that your bags get to where they're supposed to get to. So I'm very familiar with customer service.
Shout out. Hey, before I go, hold on.
That's why y'all best friends.
Before I go, should I buy these?
No.
Garbage.
No.
Like those?
No, I bought them for my daughter.
The Air Max 97s?
I bought them for my daughter.
Either the gold ones or the silver bullet. That's it.
You like the Air Maxes?
I have the gold ones and the silver. That's it.
I don't know. I kind of like them Gundams, bro. But you know what I mean. I got you.
Hey Dale. You really think KD's still the best player in the world?
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah.
Well,
there you have it. Later.
All right, Swiper.
Hey, Swiper, just before you go, just so you know, one or two things is going to happen. Come when I see you Monday, either we're going to be talking about.
If it's 2-2, this energy going to be real different in here.
Either we're going to be talking about the 5th different champion in this decade, or we're going to be talking about your boys going back to Denver and Joker accepting the league MVP trophy on that night. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
Swiper, depends on what happens tonight. I might be checking in on you this weekend because you know.
To do what? A playback?
No. Just to check in on your mental health.
Swiper, you're a Nuggets fan?
I'm from Denver, born and raised Park Hill, Colorado, bro. 32nd and MLK my whole life, bro. Holly Street, 33rd and Holly.
Yes.
No, I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live and work out here now.
You wasn't on Holly. Stop lying.
You've never been.
I did my research. You was not on Holly.
You're from Delaware. You're from Delaware and not Wilmington, so I know exactly who you are, brother. Peace out, y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
Later, Swipe.
With that being said, though, shout out to Holly and MLK. Hey, if you from here, you know about Holly and MLK.
Bro, you're an East Coast dude. I didn't know that. I thought you was a West Coast dude.
Nah, I'm a West Coast dude.
Oh.
Yeah, he was joking. Ron is not from East.
It sound wild back there. It sound wild up there right now. It sounds like it's like wild in there.
Want to shout out to all the new members. Shout out to Nelly. Nelly became a new member today. Shout out to Brian Corgio. Shout out to Brian. Also, got to shout out All Gas. You know, hey, shout out All Gas, not some gas.
All of it?
All gas.
All gas. All of it.
Got a member chat from Exclusive Excellence. He said, chill. What I tell you, Tatum has led you astray and will continue to do so. That boy Tatum been stinking it up all playoffs. Get off that train.
So when they win the next 3 games and they win the series, I won't hear a word from you. But when they get to the East Finals and they lose a game, Tatum's garbage. Is that what it's going to be? Is that what I'm going to have to listen to for the rest of the playoffs?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just preparing myself for it. That's all. I just want to make sure.
The Celtics go as far as Derek White takes them. We saw it yesterday. Derek White has a great game. They win comfortably. he has a bad shooting night, they get blown out the floor. Derek White, I think
they win 3 in a row, but they win the series.
Yeah, they win the series. Derek White is better than Jaylen Brown. Like that's 100% the thing now. Derek White is 100% better than Jaylen Brown. Derek White is better than Jaylen Brown.
You see stuff like this?
No, this is actually real. If you really think about, hold up.
Let him explain himself. Let's let him explain himself.
Why? Hold on. I think
is he better?
One, he's a better passer and playmaker than Jaylen Brown. That's a fact. Defender, he's clearing Jaylen Brown. He's one of the best perimeter, if not the best perimeter defender in the league. Derek White. That's how good he is as a perimeter defender. And as a shooter, as a scorer, look, Jaylen Brown may be a little better, but not that much. Derek White, I think, is a better shooter, but Derek White can get you 20 points even more efficiently than Jaylen Brown a lot of nights.
Two questions. One, Aladdin, did you get a haircut?
Yeah, shout out the fade, shout out the ball fade. Coming in, yes, sir. Keeping the hair fresh.
And two, as a GM, would you would trade Derek White for Jaylen Brown outright swap?
Right now? What's their ages? Let me just check the ages.
Don't worry about what their ages is.
Exactly.
Derek White is better at basketball than Jaylen Brown.
Well, I mean, I'm not trading LeBron for Wemby, even though LeBron's better right now. So I mean,
you are fired, Jalen. As a GM,
Derek White is better than Jaylen Brown at this point.
100%. You are fired.
So Jalen, I gotta ask though, if and God forbid this doesn't happen, I pray that both of these brothers stay healthy. But if one had to drop out for the rest of the playoff run, who
get Jaylen Brown out of here? Derek White is more important to this Boston team than Jaylen Brown. That's a fact. That's not even close. It's closer between, that's without a doubt. Derek White is more important to this Boston team, especially as a playmaker, facilitator for this offense, starting up their offense a lot of the times. Derek White is a lot more important for this Boston team than Jaylen Brown.
This is nuts.
It's a good thing we're from the same team, man. This doesn't matter.
So we should be criticizing Derek White more because he had a bad game last night.
100%. They lost. He had a terrible shooting night. What was
this is what you be talking about. Like this type of stuff takes years.
I'm telling you, chill. We've been watching the game. You've been watching the game.
This kind of stuff takes years off my life.
Who's been better this playoff? Derek White or Jaylen Brown?
I don't got no worries right now.
Who's been better this playoff run? It's been Derek White.
Derek White has been playing better than Jayson Tatum as well, so he's better than him too.
I actually think Derek White's had a better season than Jaylen Brown regular season too. Tatum not better than Tatum. The regular season, yes. I'm telling you, Jaylen Brown, y'all still fixated on the name Jaylen Brown and him being the, quote unquote, supposed to be number 2 in his big contract. But Derek White this season has played better basketball than Jaylen Brown.
Why does this matter, Jaylen?
Oh no, we're just talking about the Boston series. I think I came in, chill with bringing up the Boston series. So I said to say Derek White is the guy again, he's the second most important player on that team after Jayson Tatum.
All right,
we got to move on in all of this.
KP probably third. Jaylen Brown probably the fourth most important player on that team.
And Drew Holiday?
That's crazy. No, I still put Jaylen Brown above Drew Holiday.
Man, you're gonna argue Peyton Pritchard over Jaylen Brown soon.
Pritchard been hooping off the bench though. He has been hooping off the bench.
Drink More Water said, with the Suns hiring Bud to coach them, how do you think he will help Phoenix? I know it's way too early to judge, and we still need to see the free agent signings, but I believe Bud significantly raises their floor and organizes them. How y'all feeling about Bud over there?
I don't get bringing in a defensive coach for this roster. It just doesn't like he said. It's too early. It's too early because of we don't know what they're going to do in free agency. But with this team as presently constructed, you're going to run into similar issues. You're bringing in defensive coaches for teams that aren't good defensively. It's just a bad fit.
Excuse me. Mars, you don't think? Because I always thought that was not necessarily the solution, and it's not. It doesn't fix everything. But I would assume that with the defensive coach, it helps them mask some of their problems. Like I don't think they need as much help on offense. They don't need an offensive coach because they're already more geared to play offense, and they're better on that side of the ball. Don't you think a defensive coach helps them become better? I'm not saying that they become a top 5 defense, but if they were, let's say, and I don't know what they were ranked, let's say they were 25th this year. Don't you think them going from 25th to 19, 16, 17, don't you think that makes them better?
Isn't Frank Vogel a better defensive coach than Bud? I'd like to think he is.
They were actually 13th in defense. The issue is in the postseason, their defense isn't very good, and they don't have personnel. A defensive coach without personnel, you're gonna be limited. And when you have coaches, I think Bud's a better offensive coach than Vogel, but I still don't think he's great. But great offensive players still need good coaching. Like you still need to have a competent system or a way to get those guys the ball when they need it, or knowing what's having a good playbook, all of those things. And the Suns lacked a lot offensively, and I think Bud isn't going to solve a lot of those problems. I don't understand doing this again. It feels like the same mistake twice, even though I think Bud is probably better, especially in the regular season. But I don't think it's going to get you very far in the postseason, which is what the team's built for. I don't get it. But
Dale, you like Coach Bud over there?
I don't see the fit. I think they need a lot. Like, I think Mars, they don't have no personnel over there to fit any of these styles. They need the players. They need a control. They have no control. They just have bucket getters with you go, I go. Is Bud that person? Bud had a Drew Holiday and Giannis in the
They
high.
need a point guard. They need a point guard.
They need a playmaker. Was Bud in Atlanta first?
Yeah.
That's when he had before, right?
FTA,
he had like
FTA, Joe Johnson.
all people that fits. He doesn't have that here. If he could, it could become a roster where Bud could help them, but this isn't the roster right now.
But Dale, to ask a question, if they were to get a point guard, their offense is still the same. It's still a very isolated, one-on-one heavy offense. Does that mean that the offense needs to change? And how would the offense change?
Honestly, I don't know if it's the same because they'll need if you have a point guard bringing up the ball, distributing the ball after half court, then Devin Booker bringing it up and him running into pick and court, Kevin bringing it up, him running to pick and court, Bradley Beal, him running up to pick and court. The offense it's so much easier to guard. Like you dribble the ball up, do a motion 1-2,
right?
Top left, top right corner, pick and roll. Is it one to pick or choose? That's literally what happens. Pick or choose.
It's not difficult to guard.
And in the playoffs, in the Kobe Bryant interview where he's talking about, it's so much easier to guard that in the playoffs because it's like we're waiting on what's going to happen. So if it's a point guard that gets you in the spot, let's get him here. Let's just maneuver in. I watch every single playoff game once or twice. The Suns playing and the Lakers. Whenever Braun was holding the ball, this is the only time I think it was a misdirect on LeBron being ball dominant against what Anthony Davis was doing when they was feeding him. If you watch every other team, if it's the Magics, the Cavs, they're running a system base. Like it really looked like controlled. It really looked like it switched from the regular season. The Suns offense stayed in regular season mode, and that's what happened with them. And that's why.
So a point guard isn't going to change that. It sounds like the system needs to change more than the point guard.
But their system is just them three bringing the ball up. So even if it's like it's not helping. Like a point guard can change that because I could pick you up here. How many driving kicks did you ever see?
Devin Booker,
right? Off a pick and roll, look in the back, Trey, one hezzy, three. Yeah, you could, but the NBA is changing. Like small ball, it's I don't think small ball is gonna be as relevant as many people think. I give it a year or two.
So we're making the transition from small ball now
back to especially what Minnesota is doing. Especially I give a year and a half, 2 years. Wemby's gonna dominate the NBA, especially with him. That's why I think I just saw it. They're not Valanciunas is not trying to be re-signed. Like the Pelicans not re-sign him. Warriors or Lakers should go after him ASAP. You pair him with Anthony Davis.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, wait, boy.
I love him in Oklahoma. He should be at the top of Oklahoma City.
I'm very mad at that, but whatever.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Dale, if I could.
No, that's what I'm saying. So everything has changed. It's not going to be the same where everybody – the threes is still going to be relevant, but it's going to come much different than transition because you could tell playoff basketball is totally different. Everybody want to get mad about the refs and 78 missed calls in the playoffs. The reason is because y'all used to them calling them for 82 games. They need to consistently ref like this so in the playoff to become better. We don't hear everybody getting fined for hard fouls.
So if we move in the game, that way, does that mean guys like Ty Lue and Steve Kerr are on their way out? Because
they're going to judge, chill.
Mars, you've told me more than once, more than twice. Steve Kerr does not know how to use the big fella. He does not. So if he doesn't know how to use the big fella, and we're moving toward that, is Steve Kerr now going to become a dinosaur? Kind of.
I felt he used Bogut well.
Yeah, he's good with high IQ bigs who can.
Yeah, he's good with European bigs.
A lot of them.
Right.
Overseas bigs, okay.
Yeah. He's good with high IQ players. I think he'll, if he can adjust, he'll be fine. But I mean, if he can't adjust, I mean, you can't coach forever. I mean, Phil Jackson's style of play got outdated. I mean, it happens. Like, he still was great for. He helped push the game forward, even if he doesn't adjust. He helped push the game forward, and that's why there's another thing. Like, this is a major tangent. I don't like when we say eras are like the 2000s or the 2010s. Like, the game changes a lot just within years. Like, this game is completely different to 2019, or like 2017 is different to 2012. So like the 2010s isn't an era, because go watch a game from 2012 and then go watch a game from 2019. Completely different. Eras, like, for me, the game changed substantially when they made the rule changes like 04, 05, from like the 90s, from like 98 to like 04. That's its own era. Like, the late 90s to the early 2000s is a different era to 05 to 2014. Different game completely. And then 2015, 16 to like 19, 20, 21-ish was a different game to what we got now. Like, eras aren't just 10-year intervals. It's like, oh, the 70s or the 80s. Like, eras are when the game changes substantially. And the game is substantially different now than it was in 2021. Just go watch 2021 basketball and watch 2024 playoff basketball.
Just in 3 years. Just in 3 years.
Different game.
What's the difference, Mars, from 21 to today? What's the difference?
The 3-and-D guy, the prototypical standing, the PJ Tucker.
Right.
They're not there anymore. Not as commonly. Now you need to be able to. Now everyone needs to be able to drive a closeout. Everyone needs to be able to make good reads when you get downhill. Now everyone needs to be able to drive and kick. And the spacing is more optimized now. The plays teams are running now are so much more advanced than what they were doing 3 years ago. Like, it's a lot less. The heliocentrism is starting to decrease in the NBA. The use of the big man at the high post or the elbow is so much more than it was 3 years ago. Like, the game is just different. So is substantially like 19 to like 21 is like the prime heliocentrism, James Harden, dribble. That's that era. Right. And then now you've got the big man, you've got the DHOs, you've got the zoom action, the pistol, all of it just being used now. Like, this game is very comparable. Hear me out. Very comparable to how they were playing in the 60s, but now everyone's just more skilled. Right. Like, go back and watch a 60s game with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain at like the elbows and the dribble handoffs and all of that. But now you've just got these guards who are so much more skilled and everyone can make decisions. But that's how the game is just, it goes full circle.
And would that be attributed, Mars, to now that the big fella can knock down the long ball? Now that the big fella, not only can he knock down the long ball, right? He also can play in the mid range. So now when you talk about the game, what it is in 2021, where add in those guys being skilled, so now guys like Giannis, guys like Joker, they're winning NBA championships. So in addition to these guys being skilled, the result is we're actually winning. So now the game's changing even faster. Would that be attributed to it?
Yeah, I mean, Jokic, the Nuggets winning for sure has definitely, like, look at how Nick Nurse is using Embiid this year compared to how he was being used last year. There's definitely an emphasis on we want our bigs to be playing on the outside, dribble handoffs, all of those things. That's definitely an emphasis. But like, that's how it always was. Like, when the Warriors won, that's what kind of accelerated the game with its little pace and space thing. I know Houston were already doing it, but that definitely accelerated the league doing it. And that's why you got a bunch of these 3-point specialists started getting paid. JJ Redick had the best year of his career in like the late 2010s when he was 35, just because the game was like, hey, we need JJ Redick coming off these screens to pull up. Like, that's what we needed. But now we're at a point where it's like, we can't really have anyone who can't do something on the floor. We're going to talk about this Thunder game. I have to talk about Josh Giddey because
get like, off the floor, man.
We're going to talk about like the league is getting to a point where if you have a player who can't do something on the floor,
get him off.
He becomes borderline unplayable. Like back in the day, 2010s, you had Andre Roberson out there. He couldn't shoot. But you know what? He plays great defense. We'll live with it. Now you need to be able to shoot relatively well. If teams don't guard you, you have to be a good cutter. You have to be great on defense. But it's not just, you can guard one matchup. You have to be able to switch. You have to be able to defend pick and rolls as the low man and the pick and roll defender. Like, there's so much you have to do now that, like, you can't be a clear liability in one regard of the game unless, like, you're transcendent at something else. Like Jokic's defense, at least what he's bringing on offense, you think that we can subvert that. Or Aaron Gordon doesn't really shoot, but the way he plays in the dunker spot next to Jokic, we can subvert that. But otherwise, if you don't have someone who can hide your flaws like really, really well, you become borderline unplayable.
Have we ever had that? Have we ever had that in the league where a guy now becomes obsolete? Like, we can't have him on the floor. He can't play. Have we ever had that? We've always had. because I'm thinking about like Dell, for example. Dell 6'7". With Dell being 6'7", 6'8", the fact that Dell can defend and rebound, we got a space for Dell. We'll find some run for Dell. But if Dell can't handle it, if Dell can't at minimum give me a mid-range jump shot, we got to completely 86 Dell out. So now Dell's ability to rebound, Dell's ability to defend, Dell's ability to do all the dirty work stuff goes out the window because he can't knock down a mid-range shot, because he can't knock down a mid-post. I'm trying to remember if there was ever a time when we ever had that in the NBA.
I think that's based on, and this is why I don't like it. That's the analytic of basketball that I hate. I despise it, like really, because like I say, get Josh Giddey off the court. You know how many good things Josh Giddey could do on a basketball court, but for right now, just the shooting, or you can't hack it. But Josh Giddey, it's been games where Shea was out. You see Josh Giddey play. They won games with him. Of course, it was regular season. I understand all of that. But let's knock on wood. If Shea gets hurt, they're not going to look to no one on the bench to start but Josh Giddey. But right now, he's liable to being, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And that's just all the analytics. And honestly, it's easy coaching. Like back in their coaches, yeah, you find your way to let Rondo lead a team, and they go in, they land Rondo shoot from the freaking backing up to the free throw line. They let him shoot the ball, but he's still controlling the bases of that team. It's just coaching. We're going to find a way to make this work. We're going to hurt them for doing that. But now it's like, all right, we just go here with this one person to do it. You just negate all the little things you could do. I think it's lazy coaching with that. But
Dale, is it analytics or is it what we see though? Like if we see
it's analytics, because Mars made a great point with the Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's in the shooter, but they're gonna find a way to make him effective in that lineup. That's coaching. Yes. You see what I'm saying? Like we'll find a way to make him effective in that lineup. What's the name gonna play defense? Jokic. They won the championship with Jokic playing the exact same defense he's been playing for a long time. I remember I sat up here and everybody was saying Jokic is his defender based on percentage and doing all that stuff. Now he's getting more exploited by somebody going downhill and attacking him. Now, coach, find a way. Find a way. Don't be lazy and doing all that stuff. No, they found a way. Put him on the dunker spot, get shooters, open up back the floor. But it's lazy coaching nowadays. That's why many marginal players, not even marginal, many good basketball players got to sit on the bench because Bones Highland, he wasn't playing for the Clippers. I could look at the Celtics. I could look at OKC. A lot of teams could use that, but we got James Harden in front of him. Ty Lue, for a player that explosive that you don't play for a month and a half, you play one game that could have 45 points. You got to find a way for that player to play.
Yeah.
You have to.
That's what we was talking about that. We were just talking about that the other day. I remember it's like as a coach, I don't necessarily have to make you better at something, but I got to be able to utilize you in what you're capable of. Like what you're doing, as a coach, I got to figure out how do I work that into our system. How do I make you, a good member of the team? You're bringing something. You're supplying something. But that's like What's my man? Coach at the Steelers. Coach of the Steelers.
Mike Tomlin.
My bad. Yeah, Mike Tomlin. He was saying that in the interview. He was saying, man, coaches don't really want to be coaches. It's really funny to me how many coaches aren't even coaches. It's like, what do you do here? You know what I'm saying? You're not doing anything. You're just putting guys out on the field or the court and just like, okay, go do this. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely lazy. I hate to see that too.
But isn't coaching also just realizing your matchup for that particular series? So like a guy like Daniel Gafford against the Clippers, it was just a bad matchup for him. He had a terrible series. Him against Zubac just was going to work up. So
he really wasn't that bad, Jalen. He wasn't that bad.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad to me, but again, he was. I still think he was kind of a negative on the floor. I think Derek Lively was a lot better. But this series, Gafford against Chet, he actually has a bit of a positive matchup. He can get his shot. He's getting his rebound. So Gafford's actually played a lot better these first two games just because the matchup dictates that. So he's going to get more minutes.
It comes down to role on the team. Like if you're Luka or Jokic or Steph and you're the guy, we know Steph, like especially in his prime, not a very good defender. So what we're gonna put around him, we're gonna put length, versatility. We got Draymond Green, we got Bogut, Iguodala, Clay, Harrison Barnes. We're gonna be one of the most versatile defenses in the league. Steph understands in our scheme, We need you to hedge, recover, stay away from the ball as much as possible. If you do switch, we're going to be in the gaps. We're going to help you, funnel them towards the help, all of that. We understand that. With Luka, similar things. We're going to try to put you on the weakest offensive player, where if you get brought into the action, we just need you to show, get back to where you need to go. We don't want you to play defense. We're going to use you like that. But if you're, for example, a Josh Giddey, and you're not the number 1 guy, and you're not the number 2 guy, and you're not the number 3 guy, and you can't shoot, and you can't play defense, how much do we want to try and bend our scheme to make you fit into it? I think that's where it comes down to. How much is it worth us going away from what we want to do so that you're comfortable? I think as a coach, you got to find a balance. You got to be able to make your best players thrive. I said after game 1, maybe you use him as a screener in the pick and roll, because if Gaffer's going to be guarding him and you're going to put 2 on the ball with Shea or Jalen Williams, you can get him in the short roll. He can play make out of there. You just need him to get somewhere closer to the rim or give him the ball in transition, etc. But if you put him in the corner, he's going to be useless. So it's bad coaching to have Josh Giddey just out there in the corner, but is it good coaching to then give him more on-ball responsibilities at the cost of a Shea or a Jalen Williams who are just better with the ball in their hands? If you're not of that level, is it worth us changing what we want to do to try and accommodate you? Aaron Gordon would probably be unplayable if he couldn't play defense. Even with, like, we know how good he is in the dunker spot, but because of how strong he is on defense next to Jokic, we need to find a way to make him work on offense because we need him on defense. If Josh Giddey was a defender, they'd make it work.
Remember, we were having this conversation last year with the Lakers and Jared Vanderbilt. Remember, and I was talking.
Find a way. He's so good on defense. You gotta find a way. Yeah,
I'm like, you have to do something. There's something he can do on offense. He has to play. And I know Low and somebody.
It was me. It was me. I was saying his offense is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think that was kind of the consensus. Though I don't think you guys were the minority. Most people felt that way. And I'm thinking, like, with a guy like that, you got to figure something out. I feel like when we have these conversations like Phil Jackson, coaches that had great players, and then they're like, well, they weren't such a great coach. I'm thinking when you have a coach that has really good players, the mark of that good coach is making it to where, okay, I got these guys, so this is what we're running. I can figure out something to where we don't have to make many adjustments. I got these players, I can do something that dominates. But when you have coaches that are just good coaches but don't have the players per se, they're the ones that have to be good at making adjustments. You know what I mean? So it's it's depending on, like, good coaches. A good coach can coach a bad team. Right. You might not win championships, of course, but some coaches don't have to make adjustments just because they got those type of.
Well, we were just talking. Go ahead, Dal. I'm sorry.
What do y'all think happened in the NBA in terms of the word coaching? Seriously,
money.
What do y'all think? Yeah, what do you think the landscape of, like, what negated the coaches' factors in the last, I want to say, like 3 years or something like that? Because me growing up, 90s era, all that stuff, the coaching was relevant. The coaches was the face. You had the Jerry Sloans, Phil Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Pat Riley's. You had many other, and top to bottom, I think, even if you're the worst team, you had a coach that, in a way, had the locker room. What happened? What trend? Like, now it's like, you sign a coach like Vogel, now you still got to pay him 3 years. After 1 year, he's out.
Four.
He's getting hosed.
He's still getting paid. That's why I don't even feel bad. He's still getting paid. Yeah, he's still getting paid, and he don't have to work. Yeah. But I think
it's a cultural thing, yo.
I think the biggest thing, like, I don't know if we're talking about like what happened to like players, like it became like a players league. I think that just
that's a question.
Player empowerment.
But like in terms of like the coaches not having to do as much, I think it comes from spacing, in my opinion. The more spacing there is on the floor, the more the offensive players can thrive, and they can be like, if you put like a Kobe Bryant in today's game with the spacing that just exists just by default, you don't need a triangle offense to get Kobe Bryant in good positions because he can get there himself. He can manufacture it himself.
Right.
Now, does a system help? Yes, like you got the Nuggets, helps absolutely. But just generally, like you can be a lazy coach and just have shooters everywhere, and you can get a star player who can just get to where they want on the floor and dictate things. And that's where you got like the rise of heliocentrism. But now, me personally, I think coaches now, like the good coaches now, are still like very good. Like they could go back.
Yeah, right. No, I understand that.
But I think you got now a lot of bad.
It was more X and O's. It was more put on a player. That's why, and it made me think of this question the other day when I read Pat Riley's quote to Jimmy Butler. His ass shouldn't be talking. He didn't even play. That's old. You said like now
that's just normal. That's just normal 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It was
30 years ago. Yes.
And you said something just now. You said the spacing. You don't need to do that to get Kobe Bryant a bucket. But it's some players where we know you could be able to do what you do, but like y'all always say, it's not just Kobe. It's 4 other players that they have to feel integrated into, and it's nothing out there that I'm happy Grayson Allen got his money with Phoenix or the people come up, but everybody always wanted coaching Brad Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. No, you got to coach freaking Bobo. Why is Bobo not playing?
I would love to know that.
You see what I'm saying?
I would love to know
what.
I know that he got a motor issue. I do know that
he as good as people think.
Well, coach, motivate your player. If he got a motor issue, motivate your player.
Some people just have a low motor generally.
It's not just him though. Nasir Little has a high motor. He can.
I don't believe it comes down like this is why I say there's some coaches who, in my opinion, you can just live off talent and they just make it work. Like the top end coaches, the Spurs, the Michael Malones, I think Chris Finch is now getting into that conversation. They're able to be versatile and they're malleable to what their team is able to do. Some coaches this is what we got with our talent. If you don't fit in, we just not gonna play you. Someone else is gonna make it work. But like, I don't know if because I was low on Chris Finch. I already apologize. If you go back and watch like the 2022 Wolves before they got Rudy, they were a good defense that year with Cat at the 5. Mm-hmm. And that's because Chris Finch was able to implement a scheme that worked with the players they had on the team. He had Cat and D'Angelo Russell and was able to have an above average defense because he had Cat high in pick and rolls, and then he had athletes around who were able to rotate and were able to make sure that D'Lo and Cat were never in positions where they had to do too much. Like that's great coaching. Other coaches, they're just gonna live with Cat and drop coverage and get torched. But Chris Finch saw what he had. He was like, we're gonna put Cat on the ball. We're gonna rotate behind the play with Jaden McDaniels and Vanderbilt, and we're gonna make it work with our athletes, and we're gonna make Cat look fine, and we're not gonna put D'Lo on the ball. That's good coaching. But most coaches, they're not gonna do it. Like you go back to Jason Kidd with Giannis in 2017. He had this tremendous player who was great, versatile on defense, excellent in transition, but he couldn't shoot. Instead of like figuring out a way to make Giannis powerful in his role, he was like, let me just give the guy who can't shoot the ball. That's the easiest way. We're just going to make him a point guard, even though he's clearly not a point guard. But we're going to make him a point guard, put the ball in his hands so that teams are able to not sag off of him. But in like real coaches are able to put like that's like making
that worked though.
It worked and actually developed Giannis's playmaking a little bit. But like it's the lazy approach. It's like what Stan Van Gundy did it with Zion. They did it with Ben Simmons. They made him a point guard. These guys aren't point guards, but because they can't shoot, what's the easiest way to hide someone who can't shoot? Put the ball in their hands. That's just the easiest way to do it. But it's not like it's not extra. It's not high level thinking. But that's just the easiest way to approach it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I get with you when you say like lazy coaching. I think there's less of that now than there was like 5 years ago, because I think the game has become more complex with how good defenses are. But I think that's what people are getting away with that. You got called a genius for saying put Giannis at the 1. Like, I don't think that's genius.
I think it's become easier to coach as well. So that's why it's become more lazy. Because the fact of the matter, every team main concept is shooting 3-point shots. For the most part.
Basketball is lazy now.
You see what I'm saying? Every team main concept is to shoot a 3-point shot. So the schemes is going to be, let's stop the 3-point shooting first. Oh, you got to have a shooter now. You got to have this. That's why his names that come up, traditional point guards now.
Right.
Everybody, all this stuff now. So all that. So you might say it's high level defense now, but for the most part, everybody's running to an extent the same sets. And if you watch playoffs go, everything dims down to the best at doing what the team doing, not so much the one player. It's no one player that's going to dominate and get to the finals like prime LeBron James did.
But Dell, isn't that where the game is going? I mean, the long ball is prevalent. If you can't shoot,
I think it's going more so to threes in the team now.
And like, it's not just as one guy. It's a unit. Like,
it's a unit. Yes,
right. Yeah. The whole unit. But to Mars's point, Mars, when you talked about Zion playing the 1, well, I think it's genius in the aspect that I'm going to put guys around him and I'm going to accentuate how good of a playmaker he is, how good of a passer he is. Sure, he can't shoot the ball at 18 feet. Sure, he can't shoot the ball at 20 feet, but he's an exceptional passer. And he's been doing that since he was in high school. So if I could surround him with scorers who can play in the mid-range, if I could surround him with guys who can play at the long ball line, and the way that he gets downhill and his willingness to get off the basketball and the mismatch that he creates when having the ball when he's playing against smaller guards, that's genius as opposed to putting him in the dunker spot. I think that's the lazy approach. I think that's the conventional approach.
I think there's
we got to move on, fellas, because we got to talk about this Mavericks game, and then I still got a ton of super chats, and then I also want to get predictions for the Pacers and Knicks tonight. But last night,
don't forget that coaches aren't even allowed to coach anymore.
By the way,
that's what I want to say real quick though. To you, I think coaches are just scared. They feel the need. They have to kind of cater to the star players. They can't have their own system because the star player doesn't like it. They're out of there. There's just a fear that they could lose their job if they don't cater to the star players or the guys getting the big contracts.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, y'all. The Mavericks beat up on the Thunder last night, 119 to 110. Luka, although
that's not his name, Bob.
Hobbled, he showed up and balled last night. He had 29 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He actually had 3 steals. PJ Washington showed up too. When they needed somebody else, and PJ Washington had 29 points, 11 rebounds. Check out PJ. And yes, Jalen off the bench. Tim Hardaway Jr., one of the most hated players in the NBA, came up big with 17 points. Y'all talk to me about what you seen last night from the Mavericks.
Hey, man, I've seen the Jordan flu game. I saw the Luka one knee game. This man was hobbling on the floor, fighting, willing himself to play against this team. All those step back threes that he had to kind of settle for because he wasn't able to get by his man because of his knee injury, he was hitting them. Clutch basket after clutch basket. This was just a great Luka game. We got to respect it. People are talking about, oh, he's soft, he's this, he's that. One knee. You saw him out there. Buckets. Shout out PJ Washington. Hit those threes. Got buckets when they needed to. Gafford was doing his thing. Hardaway. Kyrie was a little passive to me, even though he's definitely on his playmaking time. He was a little passive. That was a little strange to me. But that's crazy. Luka played his heart out. That's disrespectful as hell. Luka, that's a great win for the Mavs here. If you told me with an injured Luka and Kyrie, frankly, not even having that great of a game, for them to win this game, OKC at home, love to see it. Great team win. Luka has some clutch steals. Couple clutch steals that he jumped the passing lane in. Shout out Luka. Great game for Dallas. Love to see it.
Okay, that's a lot of optimism right there. Okay. I mean, I get it. I get it.
There's a lot of 30 again. PJ dropped.
I think Kyrie played well yesterday.
I do too.
I think Kyrie was great yesterday.
He was
I get it. He had like 10 points. So yeah,
like 11 assists. Fighting through screens. Like pressure. I think Kyrie played real well yesterday.
Defense was very good.
This is actually some of the best I've seen Kyrie play because it's not just scoring. He's doing everything else.
Not only that, Jalen, do you understand that when a guy, quote unquote, is passive, why he's that? So, for example, when Luka was getting downhill, when he was finding PJ Washington in the corner, when he found Tim Hardaway, those guys got it going. Irv, he's also getting involved in that action too. Not necessarily as a scorer. Get those guys going, because if I get those guys going, that's going to make my life way less difficult. If Tim Hardaway gets going, if PJ Washington gets going, when Luka's throwing lobs to Daniel Gafford at the 3-point line, that's going to make my life way less difficult when those guys get going. So to think that Kyrie Irving, who also sped the game up because he played well defensively, getting in the passing lane, getting his hands busy. This is one of the better efforts defensively that I've seen from Kyrie Irving. I haven't seen an effort like this from him in a long time. I don't think he played bad at all. I think Irving was great.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with everything you just said. There was just a time in the fourth quarter where I think OKC cut it down. We were on playback watching, great stream, by the way, where it was, I think, they cut it down to kind of a 4-point game where Kyrie, he beat his man. He's in the paint. He had about like a 6-footer, but he still kicks it up. But that's like Kyrie's bread and butter. You bring Kyrie Irving there to Dallas to close out games like this. So look, they won the game, and again, he played fine. I just thought he was a little passive for whatever reason. Again, it worked out, but I just need to see Kyrie Irving a little more aggressive, especially in that fourth quarter, especially with Luka kind of limping around hurt. We brought Kyrie there. I don't want to say we, my bad, I'm a Dallas guy. You brought Kyrie there to close out games like that.
But you got to understand, they still won, and you just take Kyrie, PJ 29 points and sub it for Kyrie. Kyrie getting 11 assists. Kyrie really facilitating, pacing himself. Every game is different. I can't leave this game and say we want Kyrie to be aggressive because we know Kyrie's gonna more times than none beat Kyrie Irving. For the game, for them to win yesterday, Kyrie did exactly what he did. I'm happy I didn't see him hunting shots. He didn't go forcing, wanted to get buckets. For the most part, Kyrie Irving was many people yesterday want him to be. Kyrie plays better. I was talking to my boy about this. He plays better in smaller markets, I want to say. Dallas is not a New York. Dallas is not a Boston. When he's Cleveland, knowing his LeBron James face, he's in Dallas. He knows his Luka. When he's playing alongside of Kevin Durant or even a Jayson Tatum, where KD should be stepping in the front, he's like, nah, we could be here together. We could do this together. Kyrie has different powers and different mindsets to how to approach basketball. But how you're approaching it right now, it's next level. And I think they go as far as his mind could possibly take him, because one thing I've watched and noticed, Luka is 100% always on one leg or not, it's going to be Luka. Step back threes, no looking all. Yeah, he was on one leg, but he was still – you saw one leg on defense, but when the ball is in his hand, not so much.
That's what I was thinking, Dale. He looked like he had a lot of hop to him last night. He looked like he was a lot faster last night than he looked like he had a lot more energy than he did in games past. He definitely looked like that. And I got Dallas winning the series. But Mars, I got to disagree with you. I got to disagree with you in the aspect of Josh Giddey not being better with the ball in his hands than Jalen Williams. I think Jalen Williams is a scorer. I don't think he distributes like Josh. I don't think he play makes like Josh. And I think when Josh can actually make a shot, I think he's so much better in terms of helping that crew. Don't get me wrong. I feel like J-Dub's buckets, I feel like they're substantial. But I feel like when Josh Giddey is getting downhill and he actually knocks down that mid-range, or he even knocks down a long ball and gets the defense to respect him, the passer that he is, I feel like he's so much better with the basketball.
On another team, I agree. I think OKC had their same game plan from game one. You can see they're trying to shrink the court and they want the Dallas shooters to beat them. The Dallas shooters beat them. That's what happens. The game plan was clear. That you can see it. Luka did Luka things, especially in the first quarter. The step back three was going. If that's going, you're not stopping Luka. Like, that's just what it is. You live with that. But they're shrinking the floor. They want PJ Washington. They want Derrick Jones. They want Tim Hardaway. They want them to shoot threes. They made like 50% of them last night.
We'll live with
That's
that.
just like. Do I think Mark Dagenot's going to overreact and start selling out to the shooters?
No,
I don't think so. No, I think this is a game where you chalk it up to, hey, they hit the shots that we wanted them to hit, that we dared them to hit. They did it. Dallas getting, I think, 30 assists is a clear indication of that, because they're making those kick out passes. Luka's doing it, Kyrie's doing it, because those are the two that you don't want them to get into the teeth of the defense. Luka's not getting to the rim, because of his injury, but also part because they're shrinking the floor. I think, I'm gonna be honest, OKC would have rather win both these games, but knowing how they lost and the way they lost was the game. They tied the game in the fourth, I believe. And then they just ended up being a lid on the basket from three, from inside the lane. There was just a lid on the basket. They couldn't close it out. But I think that OKC are looking at it like, we lost by 9 in a game where they shot 50% from three.
Do you think they're looking at this, Mars, like this is not an easy fix, but like we can live with that. You look at Dallas throughout the playoffs; they have not shot that well from three. They got this is their second game above 40% from three in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. The first game they shot like 34%, which is around what they are as a team in the regular season anyway. You can assume Luka's going to do Luka things, and you can assume Kyrie might be more aggressive depending on what the game provides. But PJ Washington making 7 threes, you tip your hat. Tim Hardaway Jr. scoring 17, you tip your hat. And for offense, there's a reason Josh Giddey played 10 minutes. There's a reason. It's not just because of what he can't do on offense. Defensively, it's not there. It's not there. Defensively, he can't play in this series. They're hunting him. If he's on switches, he can't contain Luka. He in help defense, he can't play the gaps. Josh Giddey, this isn't a series for him. I've said before, I think Josh Giddey's a good player. I just don't think OKC is the fit. I think in another situation where you actually do put the ball in his hands and you have him as a point guard and a decision maker, Josh Giddey's a fine player. You send him to a team like Washington, or you put him in a team like Utah. Not saying like he has to go to a bad team, but I'm saying like those type of teams where they could deal with a lead guard who could facilitate an offense. Josh Giddey can be a very good player. I'm not low on Josh Giddey's potential as a player. When OKC, it just doesn't fit. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, are probably more valuable in this series and for OKC going forward.
So he doesn't have the guys around him to protect him like the Warriors.
Yeah, and he's not gonna get the ball out of Shai's hands. So if Shai's gonna have the ball in his hands, you're gonna have Josh Giddey off the ball, and off the ball he's not at his best. So it just doesn't make sense. But I'd be surprised if Mark Daigneault starts him in Game 3. I would be surprised. I think it's gonna be Aaron Wiggins in the starting lineup. Maybe a Kayson Wallace, because Kayson Wallace is giving.
I like Kayson. Kayson is a bad.
I can understand the size.
Kayson is tough.
6'3". I can understand the size concern, but I think it's going to be a different starting five. I'm like 60% sure that it'll probably be a different starting five going into Game 3. And I still got Dallas losing the series.
Do they get 3 days off too, like Denver?
No, they play Saturday.
Better. Why do they get 3 days off?
The traveling.
So this game Denver and Minnesota that long?
Oklahoma City.
So whoever gets to travel is 2 or 3 days. They always do that.
So this one, this will travel too, right? OKC and Dallas are an hour drive away from each other.
Oh,
45-minute flight. So
how far is Denver and Minnesota? I don't know how far.
It's not close. It's not.
Okay.
Minnesota.
They got 3 days off. That just seems a little much.
Sometimes that's just how it works, though, Jalen.
Yeah, it just happens that way. It just happens.
Maybe their stadium is being used for something else. No,
I expect a different starting five for next game, but I wouldn't overreact if I'm Mark Daigneault. Personally, I wouldn't overreact.
All right. Who else do you guys have for Game 3 though? With Game 3 predictions
for this series?
Yeah,
I'm picking OKC until I can't pick them anymore.
I think Dallas wins both of those games at home. I think OKC wins Game 5. Yeah, I think they win both those games at home. I think OKC wins Game 5. I think Dallas comes home and they end it.
I'm definitely worried about Luka's knee injury. I mean, with PJ Watt's going to shoot like that again. Tim Hardaway's due.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Jalen. He was wide open. He was wide open. Now,
they were great looks. I hear you.
Of course, I'm sure Oklahoma City's they're gonna switch up their matchups to the point where they're gonna probably get a hand. Now, watching PJ Washington, that left corner, that's his spot. That's where he wants to shoot. He can shoot it at the top of the key. He could even shoot it on the wing. That left corner is where he wants to crack the long ball all night. They got to make an adjustment to that because Luka yesterday looked like he had a little bit more pep in his step. He looked a little livelier. He was getting downhill and basically flinging it over to PJ Washington, whether it's in the corner over there or in transition, whether they were in half court or in transition. So they got to definitely make an adjustment there. But I liked what I saw from Chet around the basket. I thought Chet did a good job in protecting the rim last night. Even though Gafford gave him all he could handle because he was as physical as he possibly could with him, I thought that Chet did a good job in defending the basket last night. But I feel like offensively, as good as SGA is, I feel like offensively, as good as Jalen Williams is, I feel like Dallas has too much, man. And I think they end the series in 6 games.
I think
the opposite, Joe.
Okay, see.
Yeah, I think the Thunder got a little too much for the Mavs.
I mean, look, they got a lot. Jalen Williams is no joke. Shoot, the other Jalen Williams was hooping.
You said Jalen Williams was the second best player in his draft class.
I was, yeah.
Bad take.
I still think that he's tell me J-Dub's not second best player in the draft class. Wasn't that draft class? Other than Kate was Kate.
His teammate.
Oh no, I'm talking about the good.
Hello.
Who? Am I tripping right now?
2022 draft class, which Jalen Williams was in, Paolo and Chet are better than
Paolo and Chet. Why do I think it was the K draft? Yeah, okay. So maybe it was the third. Yeah. Maybe I was tripping the right draft. Yeah.
That's not crazy to say though right now.
It's not crazy to say though right now though. Jalen Williams is better than Chet right now.
That's not crazy to say?
He better.
Yes.
Morris, I know how high you are on Chet. I know how high you are on
right
Chet.
now.
This is not 5 years from now, though.
We gotta start acknowledging the value of being one of the 10 best defenders in the league.
And I get that. But J-Dub ain't no slouch on defense either. J-Dub get after it on defense.
He's not one of the 10 best defenders in the league.
No, he is not. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same.
I don't watch enough J-Dub. I guarantee I watch more OKC than 95% of this chat. Don't tell me I don't watch enough J-Dub because
I watch Oklahoma City.
I'm watching J-Dub.
Ron, I watch Oklahoma City games too. Just so you know, Ron. Last year they had Josh Giddey. Last year they had Jalen Williams. Last year they had SGA. You know who they didn't have? They didn't have Chet.
Yeah, but chill though. Like I get what you're saying, and Chet it's been a night and day difference between playing with Chet and not playing with Chet. But J-Dub has also got miles better.
J-Dub's improvement is a big deal.
He's improved.
Sure.
Y'all heard what I was saying about J-Dub over the summer talking to Damo. J-Dub did completely. I don't even think that anymore. I look at myself like, bro, you was tripping for even thinking that. Letting that come out your mouth, you're crazy for that. J-Dub has been. We did the top 15 list. J-Dub could have cracked that list. I don't think Chet would have been able to crack that list. I think if Chet, I'm using you as an example. Per game, that's why. And that's true, but hold on, no, that's the thing, though. It's not just points per game. J-Dub's giving you playmaking. He's a better passer than I gave him credit for. He's also giving you just energy and aura and all of that too. But aside from that, he's giving you great defense. He's locking up in the passing lanes.
You give J-Dub his own team. He might be putting up Paulo. People might be saying he's better than Paulo. You give him his own team.
It's not about your own team. It's about what he's doing in his role, in my opinion.
I hear you, but I think he's definitely good enough to have a bigger role as a number one option on the team.
And Chet could have a bigger role in a different situation too, but he's best in his role, and I think J-Dub's best in his role. Like, in my opinion, and this is just me, we should stop judging players by how good they would look on their own team. If like you're not gonna win with J-Dub on the Pistons, like you're not gonna win that way. But OKC can win this way with Shea, J-Dub, and Chet. So why are we like if J-Dub can? I'm not doing the box score thing, but if J-Dub puts up 27 on a team like the Wizards, does that mean he's now a better player than he is in OKC?
No.
Like that like him, what he can do as a number one option doesn't determine how good of a player he is. I think there's a lot of guys in the league who could put up numbers, who can score with the best of them on their own team. But in order to be a winning player, especially in the NBA, it's what else can you do? J-Dub's defense is probably going to decline if you give him a larger offensive role. His playmaking, you're going to see some of the more flaws he has. He's not a terrible playmaker. He's a good playmaker. But you're going to see some of the more flaws he has in terms of his decision making. You're going to see how sometimes he's unable to get all the way to the rim because of his ability to change direction. It's not as fluid as a guy like Shea. You can see like J-Dub is a very good player and he's great in his role. I don't think we need to try and imagine him as a number one option when he's great in the role he's in. And me personally, I think Chet's still been the second best player for them in the playoffs. But that's besides the point. I just think both of them together, fantastic. Both of them on their own team, probably not going to go
all three of them together. Mars, I don't want to see
all three of them.
I want to see
I want to see them grow together. Yes, I want to see them together. I don't think I heard someone talk about, is J-Dub going to need his own team in the future? Why? Like, why? They can all afford to pay them.
The James Harden effect?
Keep them.
No.
Pay them all, keep them all, and let them grow.
It's a legacy effect with the NBA. It's a forced. It's a lot of forced number one options in the NBA. A lot of players now. Let's say you say, "Oh, Kyle Kuzma looked much differently than he looked on the Wizards than he did with the Lakers." Then you have Jordan, which I think the Pelicans are giving up, but on Brandon Ingram. But that's just me.
They about to
trade bait or whatever.
Trey Murphy gonna get somebody traded
to fit the narrative, but I think it's so much forced number one options. It's not that much. Everyone's looking to find somebody to be good to trade them to a team needing a third option. So where you are right now, I think OKC should learn and try to keep everything intact before they end up where they end up losing losing everything they lost years ago. To be back where they are now,
they're lucky. They're fortunate.
And it matters, 5 years maybe?
Yeah, relatively quick after they traded Westbrook. Relatively quick getting back to
not even. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 3, 4 years.
Try to keep. Shay's 26?
Shay's 25, I want to say. J-Dub's 22, and I think Chet turns 22 this month.
Come on. Kids. Don't go, even if they have to pay him a little.
I've said it 1,000 times. Shea.
No, they can afford to pay them. They've already extended Shea. They can afford Chet and J-Dub. They can afford it. They're not about to make the same mistake they made with James Harden.
Jack told me years ago, when you have the formula, you do not pour it down the drain. They have the formula.
Yeah, they got something.
They got the formula.
For sure.
I'm sorry, Ron. Go ahead.
But all right, we got super chats. Riddell said L Ox when it comes to the Luka hate, but Ox is cooking with this Celtics take. Derek White emerged with Mazzulla. The bench isn't that great. Porzingis is arguably best year, etc. I don't get the hate. And then he said, I hate to be this guy, but you can make the same argument with the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Thunder tanked for years to get all the talent, and the Timberwolves have some of the best defensive talent I've ever seen.
They tanked for 2 years. Just they were tanked for 2 years.
And they got picks from Paul George. I don't think it's much so tanking than making trades.
Yeah, they tanked in 21 and 22. That's it.
The Thunder did get fortunate though, because they would still be at the bottom of the league. And I mean, it's easy to say that. Oh well, if you miss a draft pick, obviously you'd be at the bottom of the league.
They drafted.
But Shea was
a trade.
Shea was a trade.
He was a trade. I'm saying nobody expected Shea to take this leap.
Okay.
I don't even think the Thunder did.
No,
Shea did was immaculate.
They got a little lucky.
Chet was good, and I think we all expected him to be this good. But also J-Dub. Nobody expected. Well, it was some people hate. It was some people. I was high on Chet, but I
was not high on Chet defense. I hated how y'all talked about Chet defense.
I don't think he'd be good.
You're still not high on it, or you weren't high at the time?
I wasn't. It's because of the
weight.
No, you're just comparing it to like college and and the game, the offensive scheme is different. Chet had to stay in the paint when he was at Gonzaga and block shots. I saw him caught a massive block yesterday. I think it was on PJ Washington, 2-hand dunk. It was crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, he'll be able to do that, but how high it was and predicting it based on a freshman in college trying to dunk on you to DeMar DeRozan, someone low. I wasn't sold on it, but I think he has so much more to go on the offensive end. That's scary to me.
Alan L said, Ron, you forgot the L Ox in the title. L Ron, L Ox, and L Dub, and Mavs and 6.
Mars.
A lot of L's going around.
Yes or no, Mars?
Yes.
Alan L also said we done with Luka and Tatum open rebounds.
Oh yeah, Luka's 10 rebounds. 8 of them were open.
He had a couple others. He had a couple contested. I guess those two.
So
one was contested by Isaiah Joe.
I hated it even more watching it. I watched what you said, and I hated that we're having a conversation about it. I'm like, Mars is an idiot. And
we're calling contested rebounds a Mars rebound.
Yeah, we know about to praise these guys getting triple doubles because they get 7 open rebounds. I'm sorry, like I'm not me. Jason Kidd was a real rebounder. Jason Kidd in today's game is like 12 rebounds a game. That's real rebounding. But this wide open rebounds, I'm not praising these triple doubles because you get wide open rebounds. I'm not there.
You change your angle, and I had to step out of to really understand what you're saying, which is why I won't debate it, because yes, you make flawless points, to be honest, but I guess it's because it's coming from you is why I had to like push back, because you always used to say, y'all just seeing how the person is scoring and how they're doing this and that, but it's still the point. But so for rebounds now, you're saying you go get the rebound instead of, no matter what, like I think I said last night in the chat, them 8 rebounds that's uncontested, it's by design that Luka's there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Luke said, you know what I'm saying? It's a design, Luka, to get this rebound. It's because anyone else could. I wish when I played, could have get 8 uncontested rebounds.
That's a lot, Dale. That's a lot, yo.
I mean, it's definitely by design. The teams want their best player to get the ball as soon as possible in the possession. So
no, I'm saying in his mind, he knows he's a good rebounder, so that's why he's there. I don't think it's team. I think it's him.
He drifts away from his man to close possessions. He'll drift.
I feel like in Europe, he was averaging like 5-6 rebounds, and that's like
he's a better rebounder than Jayson Tatum is, for sure. But his rebound numbers are still inflated.
All right, y'all. I got a super chat from Almighty Scambo. He said, please let the focus be on what the Cavs did and not what the Celtics didn't do. I beg you. Hashtag Cavs Nations, El Bozos.
I tried to do that. I think I did that a little bit too.
But El Almighty, though.
Oh, no. Okay.
The Tribe One said the players don't have the power to fire or hire people. They have influence. Stop blaming the players for the front offices having a weak spine.
Influence with equal power, sir. If I can influence you, I have the power to make you make a decision. That's the power to make you make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some players will have a lot of influence.
I think it could be nipped in the bud from the go because any of these players that we're talking about, the KD, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, if any of them goes to Miami, from the door they know they can't go to Pat Riley with any of the things they go with.
They already know that from the door
because he established that.
There's only certain coaches who have that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. From the door you walk into Phoenix, you walk into Brooklyn, be like, hey, I understand, yada, yada, yada. Trust me as I trust y'all on the court. And if you don't agree, we could just right here, right now. That could be established. So I actually agree with that, with the weak spine thing and the influence. You giving them the power. You know what I'm saying? It's like from the door, yo, I'm in this seat. You're in that seat. I know to expect your 28, 29 points and whatever the case may be. Expect me to build a good team around you and not whatever. Pat Riley, right away, clipped.
Other than Spo and Pop, who has that?
Yeah,
power?
Teams don't give these coaches or the front office the time to lay that groundwork. I'm hoping Houston are doing it with Ime. It looks like that's what we're trying to do. I'm hoping that's what we're doing.
It seems they're doing it okay over there.
Yeah.
Well, there's only two coaches in the league. There's only two coaches in the league who have that power.
With that type of motion. I mean, hey, if Wemby and Pop get into it, I ain't gonna lie. They packing up Pop before they pack up Wemby.
I was gonna say, remember Darren Williams and Jerry Sloan? Jerry Sloan had a lot. They packed Jerry Sloan up.
Yeah, they packing up Wemby.
Jerry Sloan said, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah,
I'm too old for this.
Havoc with the super chat. He said, can we actually give credit to the Cavs for playing well? Plus, they are undefeated at home. Cavs in 7. Jared Allen back next game.
Is he actually?
Cavs in 7 they're not winning another game in Boston. So
I don't think they're winning another game in the series, to be honest.
Oh, nah, they're winning another game. D Mitch gonna have a 45-point game one of these two games. They're getting one more. I think Boston might get them in 6.
Look, if Mobley keeps playing like this, Mobley can have another huge game. Man.
He surprised me how he's not as offensive minded as I think he could be.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Everybody's happy he had 21 points, but I think Mobley has a lot of tools for me watching him that he could really average at least 21 a game based on how the NBA is. And he's not doing it. Like, he's just not.
LaFlame said Tatum's right. If the Celtics are a super team for having 2 All-Stars, amazing defenders, a great front office, and coach, so are the Wolves.
I hated this Jayson Tatum take, and I'm a Jayson Tatum fan. When he brought up the awards and the people labeled him a super team, they didn't get no fruits of the label. It was I didn't see what he was trying to say. Like, you're knocking, like, oh, you didn't get the recognition. Like, Jason, every super team don't get the recognition. Who ever been on a super team that ever got MVP?
LeBron.
Yeah, James.
What team?
Miami.
And 13.
And 12.
Oh, but
in 12 and 13.
Okay, what helped LeBron James on that first year they lost?
Yeah, that's why I said the same thing.
It made them look less.
You could see they were beatable, so it didn't feel as
exactly, because that first year of them, if they won the championship against Mavs that year, I don't think Bron get an MVP in Miami.
I hear you. I wouldn't be surprised. I
hear that logic.
I've said before, I think that's why people hate the KD move more. If they lost in 17 but won in 18 and 19,
it'd be okay. It'd be okay.
If you look at the stats of Bron compared to Derrick Rose and his years following Miami, how it wasn't chill, probably was off by a point or something. Bron was still here. But it's the super team, you're doing this, you're doing that.
That's the narrative that they hate.
Them losing, it's kryptonite. Then Bron came back, a little more attitude, a little more. Them back-to-back years was ridiculous. But had they not lose, it would have been hard for them not to like not Bron.
I wouldn't be surprised if you only want the 13 MVP. I think is hard to take away. But if he won in 2011, I think 2020
got it. I just wouldn't think, he probably would have got it. I just think it made it more easier for the voters based on them losing to the Mavs. That's all I'm saying. He probably would have got it still.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that. It made it easier to vote back for the super team because of that. Because if KD them in 17 had won 73 games or 74,
they the fellas.
He wouldn't have. I don't think anybody in the Warriors would have got it still.
Thickest Pilot 9 said, guys, let's just admit it. The C's play like they are entitled. Quote unquote, they like they too good to try. C's are my team, but they are soft, they not hungry, and have bad habits.
Wasn't their best game. They missed a lot of shots. Their defense wasn't where it needs to be. But it happens. I mean, look, they lost game 2 to Miami.
They didn't try. I think the Cavs just played better than them. I think we should give the Cavs some credit instead of just saying it's because Boston didn't try.
Last super chat of the day, then we got to get up out of here. Daniel Day said, 2020 Lakers versus current Wolves defensively. Who y'all got?
Wolves.
The Wolves can do more, I think, in terms of like.
I got the Wolves too.
Oof.
All right, fellas, we're going to get up out of here. Make sure you join the Telegram chat. It's going to be going down this weekend. We talking football. We talking hoops. We talking baseball. We talking fighting, boxing, UFC, all of that good stuff. Soccer too. Y'all be sure to join in. Get into that super chat. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Also, right after this is Open Gym. Y'all be sure to jump on Open Gym right after this. They're going to be on YouTube and they're going to be on playback. Jump in there. Also, NBA X. Damo and J-Rob. Make sure you join playback.tv to tap into this. And last but not least, we'll also be on playback watching the game tonight. Big Ox will be hosting the Wolves and the Nuggets tonight. So be sure to pull up, show us some love on playback. Like this stream on the way out. Like Open Gym on the way in. We'll catch y'all later.
Take it easy.